by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That is Mark Nelson with a beautiful rendition of our national anthem. Thank you, Mark.
Hey, Jacob. Sorry, we're actually a little, weirdly enough, we're a little ahead of schedule, but we can still play the Open at 3:30. Yeah. Sounds good. All right, so probably the most important game that's been played here for the Black Bears at David Story Field in a very long time. We're in the playoff mix. We got a lot of stuff to do. We need a lot of other teams to lose, but most importantly, we have to win. Excellent. We went 2-1. Bears this summer. The Black Bears are just one game out of a playoff spot with 3 games to go. It is the wild, wild West Coast League South Division here, and there's a lot to go over, so we're just going to get rolling right into it. So just first and foremost, we'll go in the overall record. Your Black Bears 29-24-1, including the non-league games. But in the West Coast League this year, they are 23-22, and they're behind Portland, Ridgefield, and Bend, who are all 24-21. So there's a lot of different things that could go on. The Cowlitz Black Bears need to win that second place overall spot, as Corvallis have clinched the first and second half of the season. So the Black Bears own tiebreakers over Portland and Ridgefield. So if they end up tied with either of those teams, then we're good to go. Black Bears make the playoffs. If the Black Bears end up tied with Bend, the Bend Elks make the playoffs. If anybody's tied with Portland, the other team makes the playoffs. And if Ridgefield and Bend are both tied with Cowlitz, and weirdly enough, the Ridgefield Raptors will make it. So there's a lot of different things that could go on, but we only have to worry about today as your Black Bears will take on a very good Bellingham Bells team. Now, don't let their 22-23 West Coast League record fool you. They're a very similar team to the Black Bears. They pitch well. They hit just enough to get by. They've got some pop, especially in the middle of the order. So it's going to be a tough task for Mickey Thompson, your reigning West Coast League pitcher of the week. Mickey is 2-1 with a 3.98 ERA. He has 19 Ks and 9 walks, a 1.08 whip. In 4 games, 3 starts, 20 innings pitched for the young man. He is from San Jose State, 6'1", 190 pounds, from Portland, Oregon. And the first man that he's going to face up against is going to be Daniel Gernon, the left fielder. We'll give you the entire Bells starting lineup in just a moment. Gernon, a 248 hitter. And Thompson, a southpaw. So Thompson is ready. Gernon is ready. Let's do it here in Longview. And the first pitch is a breaking ball strike from Thompson. And we are underway at 6:33 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So to start today's game, Phillip Rowe was actually in left field for the Black Bears, and after one pitch, they switched him up, and they inserted Jace Bailey. That's for playoff purposes. Phillip Rowe, Sawyer Parkin, and in fact, Mickey Thompson as well. They all need to get into 5 games in order to be on the playoff roster. So the Black Bears are going to be doing a lot of that lately, or over the past couple of games. They're going to have those types of things going on, one-pitch substitutions. So now we have the full Black Bears defense, as Thompson's next offering is a beautiful fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-2. So back to Gernon. Gernon, a 248 hitter with a 375 on base and a 333 slugging. He has 9 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, and 13 runs batted in, as Thompson misses up and outside with the off-speed 1-2. So Gernon, a right-hander from Cloverdale, British Columbia, is 5'11", 205 pounds, and he's an LCC boy. And Thompson misses away yet again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mickey was sensational against Ridgefield his last time out. He went 7 innings, allowing just 1 earned run on 2 hits, 3 walks, and 9 strikeouts. And there's another strikeout there, a swing and a miss, strike 3. He gets Gernon to chase the outside change, and Gernon is down on strikes for out number 1. And with him down, let's give you the entire Bells lineup. Daniel Gernon, the left fielder, led off with Nick McLean, the center fielder, hitting second. Batting third is the catcher Bennett Lee, with Luis Aviles, the first baseman, cleaning things up. A.J. Davis is at third, batting fifth, with the 6-hitter Alex Lambo playing second base. Garner Christensen's in right, hitting seventh, with Josiah George, the shortstop, in the 8th spot. And, of course, rounding it out, batting ninth is Emilio Corona. He is your DH for Bellingham. First offering from Thompson misses low, 1-0. Next one from the southpaw is chopped over to the shortstop. Schwartz picks it up on a hop, fields fire sidearm across the diamond to Brown, and completes the play to put McLean down for the second out of the inning. So the good infield defense for your Black Bears continues, and with Bennett Lee headed up, let's give you your entire Black Bears defense. Jace Bailey, the sensational outfielder, is in left, with Brock Mortensen in center. Jacob Stinson patrols the grounds in right. Brock Bozette mans the hot corner with Matthew Schwartz at short, Rico Nishida playing the keystone, and Sam Brown at first base. Behind the plate is Wilson Weber, and on the mound is Mickey Thompson, whose first pitch is a curveball swing and a miss. And the count 0-1. Now, Mickey had been a little up and down in his Black Bears tenure. He gave up a lot of runs in starting against Yakima Valley, bounced right back, and was sensational against Ridgefield. And when Mickey's throwing strikes and has command of his fastball, curveball, changeup, he is basically unhittable, as he's got some serious swing and miss stuff. So now the 0-1 goes to the fastball and misses down and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Mickey was at Washington State, didn't get a lot of playing time this year. So he's headed over to San Jose State University this time around, and you can see why he wants to get on the mound a little more. This is a talented kid out here. So the 1-1 breaking ball is fouled away. And the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. So again, a huge game for your Cowlitz Black Bears here. They essentially have to sweep Bellingham. Now the good news for the Black Bears, though, is that the Bells have already clinched a playoff spot. So they might be resting a couple guys. Now the 1-2 is belted foul on the right again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count remains. So we'll be doing a ton of scoreboard watching all game long. We'll make sure that we know what's going on against Bend and Corvallis, with Ridgefield taking on Walla Walla and Portland taking on Port Angeles. As the 1-2 is hit in the air over to right center field. Stinson drifts over, takes a couple steps forward, and makes the grab to send him down for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left to board. A 1-2-3 for Thompson as we now go to the bottom of the first inning. Bellingham nothing, the Black Bears nothing, and your Black Bears coming to bat right here on your home for Cowlitz Black Bears Baseball, YouTube and KEDO. So my mistake, it is Daniel Jernin, as I just learned. Say, you know what, we'll get it right the rest of the game as the Black Bears look to get it right here in the bottom of the first inning. In a scoreless tie, they'll look to try to take the lead against Joey Dixon, a talented right-handed pitcher out of Stanford University. He's 2-0 with a 1.96 ERA, including non-leagues, 24 strikeouts to 19 walks, a 1.54 whip. And now his 6th game, his 6th start, he has thrown 23 innings and will go up against this ever-dangerous Cowlitz Black Bears lineup. Riku Nishida, the second baseman, will lead things off with Brock Bozette at third base, hitting second. Jacob Stinson, another left-handed batter, will play right field and hit third, with Sam Brown cleaning things up at first base. Hitting fifth is Brock Mortensen, the center fielder, with Jason Bailey in left in the 6th spot. Hitting 7th is Wilson Weber, your catcher, with Sean Mulcair, the DH, hitting 8th. And rounding out the order is Matthew Schwartz, another LCC guy, and he is batting 9th. How about the season of Riku Nishida? He is on a 21-game on-base streak, as the first pitch to him is down and away, 1-0. Riku is 3rd in the West Coast League with a .360 batting average, and he's also got himself a rock-solid .490 on-base percentage, as now quick substitution here. Ty Saunders is going to come in for George, so a little bit of a difference here. And the Bells doing the same thing as, again, the Bellingham Bells have already clinched a playoff spot in that North Division with a 22-23 overall record. Actually, the Black Bears helped them get there with the win against Wenatchee. So now the 1-0 to Riku is outside, 2 balls and no strikes, says John Poland, your home plate umpire. And joining John today out in the field is Gabe Vargas. You might remember them. They were the same umpires that we had over in Wenatchee. Now the 2-0 is laced foul over on the left end, and will just clear the bleachers on that side. So we'll go with a 2-1 count. And it's great to be back home. The Black Bears took care of some business back on the road. They went 4-2 in their road trip, as now the 2-1 pitch is high and away, 3-1. The Black Bears were able to win the first 2 games against the Richfield Raptors and clinched the first ever Columbia River Cup, which we presented before this game. Then they went on a 2-game losing streak before winning the final 2 in Wenatchee. So Black Bears have now won 6 of their 7 series in the second half. And Nishida fouls another one away. So now the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the payoff. Swung on and swatted foul on the left end. We'll do it all over again. That's what Riku likes to do with 2 strikes. And no matter if it's a full count or anything, he'll choke up high on the bat and he does that little slash swing to try to push the ball over to the left side because he knows with his speed he can beat out of ground balls. Now the payoff is poked and over to the shortstop. Saunders picks it up, fires across the diamond, not nearly in time. And Riku Nishida with yet another infield single. He leads off with a base hit. Well, that's exactly what we said was going to happen, and there it is. So now Brock Bozette will enter for your Black Bears. Brock having a sensational season for Cowlitz. Leading the team with 35 runs batted in, right-hander from Spokane Falls Community College. Squares the bunt, pulls it back, but it's a strike anyway with the fastball. And the count 0-1. And Brock got a day off during the week, and it was much needed for me. He had played a lot. Essentially, him, Nishida, and Schwartz have played every game. As Nishida breaks for second. Here comes the throw. The pitch is strike, and it's scooped up by Saunders. And now Riku extends his West Coast League leading stolen base total. He now has 28. Yeah, and if he's on first, you can probably bet that he's going to get over to second base. He's got some serious speed. And now if we include his stolen bases in non-league games, he has 31. And then if we go back and add his Mount Hood ones, he has 64 in the year of 2021. So Riku's had himself quite the season as Bozette takes one outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Riku Nishida, just something special out there. He was one of the most entertaining players to watch in all this league and perhaps in really all of summer baseball across the country, as the 1-2 is a breaking ball, and Nishida able to hit it off the end of the bat and fight it off foul on the right side. So we'll go with a 1-2 count. So Riku has actually found himself with a reward for his good play, as it's been told that he's going to get a 10-day contract to play at the Cape Cod League next summer. As the pitch is low, 5 holes lead. There goes Nishida for third, and that's actually going to go as a pass ball by Lee. Now, the ball never hit the dirt. Lee just mishandled it there. So Nishida gets to third base in a pretty interesting way. He gets himself a nice little infield single, a steal of second. Now advances on a wild pitch, and Brock Bozette is in business here with a man on third and nobody out. And the 2-2 is a breaking ball upstairs. Full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 counts to both Black Bears that he's faced so far this evening. Cowlitz just doing their best out there to try to get a nice early lead against the Bell squad that hits about as well as they do, as the payoff is grounded up the middle, and that's going to go through for a base hit. Nishida will score. Bozette to first. It's an RBI single for Brock Bozette, and he continues to pack on the ribbies. That's 36 now, including non-league games, leading the team, and the Black Bears take themselves a 1-0 lead.
Out of the plate for the Black Bears, number 18.
So far, so good for your Black Bears. Bottom of the first, and a 1-0 lead. Here's Jacob Stinson. And man, what a year it's been for him, including non-leagues, hitting .322, 49 hits, that leads the team, and 152 at-bats, 26 runs scored, 9 doubles, 3 triples, 16 RBI, and 1 home run for Stinson. So he takes one down and away, 1-0. For Jacob Stinson, though, that 3-run shot that he hit on Sunday's game against the Wenatchee Apple Sox to right field was the first big fly that he has hit since he was 12 years old. And a fan was able to get him the baseball, and it was such a meaningful moment for him as he laces one to the shortstop on a line as Saunders fires back to first, and that's not going to be in time. So Stinson hitting into a bit of bad luck there. Hit it right on the screws, but Saunders there to pick it up on the backhand. And with that, there's one down here in the bottom of the first inning with Sam Brown coming to the plate. And if you want to talk about power, well,
for the Black Bears, number 39,
here's Sam Brown.
Baseman,
Brown is on a 9-game hitting streak for the Black Bears, where he's 11 for 34. That's a .324 average in that span. He has a pair of dingers and 11 runs batted in. So Sam on the season for the Black Bears, though, hitting .268. And he's also got a double in there. Big power lefty at 6'3" from the University of Portland. Bozette breaks. Here comes the throw after a swing and a miss, and not in time. The throw beat him, but the tag did not, as Bozette was able to glide right in under it. So Brock now has stolen base number 12 this year, including non-league games. And once again, your Black Bears have a runner in scoring position. And Cowlitz were great with runners in scoring position in their last game, as they were able to go 6 for 16 against the Apple Sox. So the Apple Sox do have the worst pitching staff in the league in terms of ERA, now going against the best pitching staff in the league in Bellingham, as Brown takes a fastball strike on the outside. No balls and 2 strikes. And in his short tenure with the Black Bears, Brown 7 for 21 with runners in scoring position. That is a .333 mark, one of the best marks on the entire Cowlitz squad. Here's the 0-2. And the fastball taken off the plate outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So again, a lot of scoreboard watching going on today, and we'll get you started now. Just looking at the other games, and the Pickles have taken a 2-0 lead on Port Angeles, and the Knights have taken a 2-0 lead on Bend. So one thing is good for the Black Bears, the Corvallis lead, and one thing not so good with the Pickles, up 2-0 on Port Angeles. As Brown now punches one, and that's going to get past the diving Lambo into left or right center for a base hit. Bozette rounds third. He will score. Brown takes a big turn off the first base bag, but no one's there to cover. So Brown with an RBI single, his 12th of the season. And the Black Bears continue to tack on. It's a 2-0 ball game. So you love to see it. The Black Bears just finding the holes out there, and well, making the bells pay as Brock Mortensen will step on up. Mortensen's been excellent for the Black Bears this season. .230 average, but we'll give you some more numbers to explain to you how good he's been as he takes one outside, 1-0. He has 26 hits and 113 at-bats, 21 runs scored. He has 12 extra base hits. That's second on the team because he has 6 doubles and 6 home runs. That's actually tied for second in the West Coast League. 19 RBI and a .376 on base, as now he pops one up way high with a lot of power into shallow right field. Lambo is dancing around and will make the catch and send him down for out number 2. Mortensen additionally had a .442 slugging, as we did not get to that number. And now Jace Bailey to the plate for Cowlitz, as Bailey came in for Rowe after that one pitch.
To the plate now for the Cowlitz.
And Bailey's been on a hot streak. Bailey's on his first 3-game hitting streak of the season. So he's brought his average up, including non-leagues, to 192. He has 15 hits and 78 at-bats, 9 runs scored, a double, 2 home runs, and 9 RBIs. He grounds into the shortstop across the body. Saunders to first, and he's got him. So a nice play by Saunders puts him away for the final out of the inning. But not before your Cowlitz Black Bears score 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and leave just 1 aboard. At the end of 1, the Black Bears 2, the Bells nothing, and Bellingham coming to bat on your home for Cowlitz Black Bears Baseball, YouTube and KEDO. We are in the top of the second inning here at David Story Field, and the Black Bears off to a great start. RBIs by Brock Bozette and Sam Brown have them with a 2-0 lead over Bellingham, as Luis Aviles, A.J. Davis, and Alex Lambo will all be coming up this inning for the Bells. A formidable part of the order, so Mickey Thompson will look to stay hot against them, as, again, he was so good against Ridgefield, carving him up. That curveball looked sharp. His fastball command was better than usual. That's usually his issue this year. When he pitches off the fastball and he's missing away, he struggles, but when he's able to groove that one in, his curveball changeup complement that pitch perfectly as the first offering is right at the knees for a strike to Aviles, and the count 0-1. So for Aviles this season, he is hitting .231 with 25 hits and 108 at-bats as Thompson delivers again, and it's fouled straight back. No balls and 2 strikes. 12 runs scored, 6 doubles, 4 home runs, and 19 RBI. He does have 42 strikeouts. This team does strike out a lot. They lead the West Coast League in strikeout rate with 10.4 Ks per game, and Thompson's already got one of those in the books. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Aviles is down on the high cheddar and sent down for the first out at the top of the second inning. So you got to like what you're seeing here from Thompson, especially since the Black Bears are starting to run out of starting pitchers a little bit. No more Max Petty, no more Kyle Sandstrom, no more Miles Davis. Carson Angroth made his final start. So it's good that they have at least him back in the loop, as the first offering is that curveball that misses low, 1-0. And A.J. Davis, a .221 hitter on the season, 29 hits and 131 at-bats, a triple, a home run, and 14 driven in as Davis tips one right into the glove of Weber. 1 ball and 1 strike. He also has 14 walks, an on-base of 400, and a slugging percentage of .259. And now the 1-1. Breaking pitch. Ooh, what a nice offering as Davis is out in front. And now Thompson ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mickey's curveball, it doesn't break the most, but the speed really fools guys and really just gets that couple of inches of drift right there as he gets another curveball, and he got him. Strike 3. A.J. Davis is down to window shopping as Mickey sends him back with a backwards K. There's 2 down, and Alex Lembo coming to the plate. It's already 3 Ks in 5 batters, and here comes Lambo. First one to the righty is a short check swing, but a strike anyway on the outside corner. Good-looking fastball, 0-1. Lambo only making his 4th appearance for the Bells, so he's a guy that they need to get in so he can be on the playoff roster as he fouls one back in the count 0-2. In his 3 games, he has just 1 at-bat, and he went hitless that one against Portland in a 3-2 loss for the Bellingham Bells. He's from Seattle, 6 foot and 185 pounds as Thompson delivers the 0-2, and that's upstairs, 1-2. Lambo from Santa Clara University, and as you mentioned before, hails from Seattle, Washington, so not too far from Bellingham. Now the 1-2 with 2 outs. The curve is bounced over to third. Bozette's got it, fires a little high across the diamond, and it goes over Brown's head. So that's going to be a rare E5 from Brock Bozette, and the inning will continue now with a man on first and 2 away. Again, Brock Bozette, that does not happen very often for him. And this is no knock against Brown, because Brown is a very good fielding first baseman, but you get the idea if Jaden Shepard was still around on the team that he might have been able to make the play just because he's got that 3 extra inches on Sam. He's 6'6", Brown at 6'3". So now the first pitch here to Malachi Knight is a strike, and the count 0-1. Knight wearing the number 24, a right-handed batter for the Bellingham Bells. Trying to make something happen here. He actually represents the tying run as the 0-1 is swung on a miss. That's a great curveball again from Thompson. And the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. And Malachi, another dangerous batter in this order. Got to keep an eye on him. He's hitting .329, 2 homers and 9 ribbies in 25 games. And the 0-2 is high and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thompson now at 26 pitches, 19 for strikes. Malachi also with 25 hits and 76 at-bats, 19 runs scored, 4 doubles, 2 triples, and a pair of home runs. Gets on base at a .524 mark and a .688 slugging. And he'll be a teammate of Kelly Austin's at UCLA as the 1-2, little high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Almost the entire Black Bears defense was ready to go back to the dugout, but Knight going to live to fight another pitch. And Knight, 6'3", 187 pounds, from Marysville, Washington. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Man on first. Thompson looks to keep him close, delivers the next one, a curveball, and it goes off Weber's glove. Over to second is Lambeau, so on a wild pitch. Now a runner in scoring position for Bellingham and a chance for them to make some noise. Now the Bells came into this game, and again, if you're looking for a doppelganger team of the Cowlitz Black Bears in the North Division, it's basically Bellingham. They have the same exact amount of runs and hits on the season, same rate, 5.1 runs per game and 7.9 hits per contest. And also the same batting average at .235. So now 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. On second is a runner as the breaking ball is popped up. And that's going to be a souvenir over on the right end, so we'll do it all over again. Bellingham also has a unit with a .344 on base percentage and a .359 slugging average. They strike out at a league worst rate of 10.4 a game, and they walk at the 5th best rate with a 4.7 walks per contest mark. So another payoff from Thompson. He delivers and fouled straight back as Knight really putting up a battle here. He fell behind 0-2, then took 3 straight off the plate from Thompson before fouling 2 away. So add all that up, that is a 7-pitch at bat for him. As Thompson trying to put him down before reaching that 35 pitch mark at 30 now, 21 for strikes. Another quick look at Lambeau at second. The Black Bears with a 2-0 lead as he delivers. Swing and a missed strike 3. So it took him a few more pitches, but Mickey Thompson is able to get the job done with 3 strikeouts this inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left aboard. Let's go to the bottom of the second. Black Bears 2, Bells nothing, and Cowlitz coming to bat on your home for Black Bears baseball, YouTube and KEDO. We are in the bottom of the second inning here at David Story Field on the campus of Lower Columbia College. Your Black Bears lead it by a score of 2-0 thanks to RBIs by Brock Bozette and Sam Brown. Now the Bells did get a base runner on in the last inning off an error. He reached second on a wild pitch, but Mickey Thompson continuing to deal. He's got 4 Ks already to just 7 batters faced, and the Black Bears will look to continue to have some success against them as Wilson Weber going to lead it off, followed by Sean Mulcair and Matthew Schwartz.
Second inning for the Black Bears, catcher Wilson Weber.
And the first offering to Wilson is a fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Weber, a right-handed batter, headed off to Oregon State. He's going to be a really important player on the Beavers roster this season as the 0-1 is a slider that goes down and outside, 1-1. Wilson up to 192 on the season, including non-leagues. He's got 20 hits and 104 at-bats, 8 runs scored, 7 doubles, a triple, home run, and 17 runs batted in, as the next offering to him is right on the outside corner, 1-2. Additionally, Weber with a .259 on base and a .308 slugging percentage. He's played a big role on this Black Bears team despite just being a graduating high school senior. Now he pops one up over to shallow center. Going in on it is McLean, calls off the outfielder and the second baseman, and he's able to grab it for out number 1. So 1 batter, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Ooh, Sean Mulcair going to walk off to Tom Sawyer by Rush. What a choice over there by our music staff. We were playing a little Spirit of Radio before the game to try to get everybody pumped, so we're sticking with the sultry sounds of Geddy Lee, Alex Lyson, and of course the brilliant Neil Peart. May he rest in peace. First one to Mulcair is down and outside, 1-0. Mulcair's been playing well for the Black Bears as of late. He's up to 188 with his average, but he's been very productive in limited at-bats. He's 8 RBI and 85 at-bats, as now he lines one right at Saunders. That's the second line drive directly to him today. So Mulcair is down for out number 2. So we'll give him his stats, his stats the next time he comes up.
Bring up Black Bears shortstop.
As now here comes Matthew Schwartz, who is just on an absolute tear. He's hitting .288. He has 15 multi-hit games this season. He has 46 hits and 160 at-bats. His first offering to him is a breaking ball up 1-0. Schwartz also tied for the team lead with Riku Nishida. They both have 30 runs scored. He has 7 doubles, 1 triple, 3 home runs, and 22 RBI as a curveball gets him to swing and miss. 1-1 to the LCC shortstop. Additionally, Schwartz with a .356 on-base percentage and a .400 slugging average. And the 1-1 is tapped up the middle. Will it get through? Yes, it will. And Matthew Schwartz with hit number 4 of the ball game for the Black Bears. Just brought that baseball exactly back where it came from. And the Bats continuing to have some success against Joey Dixon early on. And the lineup will flip over for Riku Nishida, his second at-bat in as many innings. So Riku, with that single in the first inning, increased his on-base streak to 22 games, his hitting streak to 8 games. And now he can try to extend his multi-hit game streak to 4, as he had at least 1 in each of the 3 games of Wenatchee. And slashes one foul over to the left side with the first pitch, count 0-1. It's just been video game-like numbers he's been putting up this season for the Black Bears. And what a pickup he was. They didn't have him right away. He actually was playing for one of the teams in the Wild Wild West League. And after one game, the Black Bears were impressed and were like, you know what, you're going to come play for us. And man, has he been a great investment for Brian Burris and company as Dixon misses down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the Bellingham Bells pitching staff, one of the best in the league, so an encouraging sign to see the Black Bears jumping on him early. It's Bellingham first in really everything. An ERA 3.13, first in batting average against 208, a 290 slugging against, and a 1.27 whip for them. So they've been excellent. As now they check on Schwartz, but nothing doing. Schwartz with 3 swipe bags and 4 attempts. The Black Bears as a team with 90 stolen bases and 101 tries, as Nishida takes one low now, 2-1. And it's a really good percentage for Cowlitz, as they're just under 90% at 89.1. So if they're going to steal, they're going to make it. Schwartz now with a 10-foot lead off the bag, being held on by Luis Aviles. And Dixon kicks, delivers to Riku, and it's a high chopper over to second. It'll be a foot race. Picked up by Lambo, fires to first. Nishida is just caught as he's sent down for the final out of the inning. A nice quick throw by Lambo beats him. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. Top of the third coming up. Your Black Bears lead it by a score 2-0 against the Bells, with Bellingham coming to bat on 99.1 FM, 1400 AM, KDO, Longview, Kelso, and on YouTube.
All right, thanks, Cammy.
Here we go in the top of the third inning now. Mickey Thompson making his final warm-up toss, as the Bell's going to send up Saunders, Corona, and Jernin. Yeah, we got it. Perfect. I get the approval from Ryan, the Bell's broadcaster, and also from Justin Ford, our TV producer, because, you know, big LCC guy here. If I'm going to mess up somebody's name, it cannot be somebody from Lower Columbia College, that's for sure. Don't want to embarrass myself. What? It's only game number 55 now that we've done, so we'll still be getting them right. So here comes Saunders into the game. He actually wasn't originally part of the starting lineup. Again, one of those instances where they want to get guys in for the playoffs as he pops one in over on the right side of the outfield. Stinson hustles over, but he will run out of room as that'll actually clang off the very top of the fence over there, adjacent to the Bell's bullpen. That's just a long way of me saying that it's an 0-1 count. And Ty Saunders will stand on up to the plate. It's hitting 194. It's a pretty good shortstop there. He's from the University of Portland, so a teammate of Sean Mulcair, Sam Browns, Liam Hadakanakas, Henry Menches. And by the way, Henry Menches is back. He's rejoined the team with the Black Bears, so good to see him and good to see that his wrist is feeling better. As now the 0-1 is punched, and Nishida drifts back on it, gets a read, and it goes over his glove. That'll land in right for a base hit. So Nishida took a little bit of a weird path to the ball and just missed it there. So a quick little bloop single. We'll put him in on first for Emilio Corona. Now don't be fooled by Corona's spot in the order. He's one of the better bats in this Bell's order. They might be batting him ninth just to give him some more fastballs. He's hitting .262 with 52 hits and 122 at-bats. He has 14 doubles, 4 homers, and 22 RBI. So, yeah, he's not your average number 9 batter. As now a man on first, nobody out. And the first one from Thompson is a curveball, and it's fouled back, 0-1. So Thompson pitching backwards against Corona, probably knowing those power numbers, and at the same time, just looking for a double play ball for his infielders. And the Bells in some pretty cool threads today. They're wearing their grays with B Ham written across the front of their jerseys in a pretty nice style, I should say. It's in blue, trimmed in a teal, as the 0-1 is hit in the air foul. Actually golfed over on the right side, and will clear the screen, 0-2. The Bells also with numbers on the back in that navy blue, trimmed out in teal with gray pants, a thick navy blue stripe on the outside of the left and right legs, navy blue socks, and today they are wearing their navy blue caps with the Bellingham Bells B prominently displayed on the front in white. They kind of look like a navy blue Brooklyn Dodgers if you're looking over at their caps, as the third of first is not in time. And Ty Saunders, one of the more threatening guys on the base paths for this team. He has 8 swipe bags and 11 tries. Overall, 70 for 95 for the Bells in stolen base attempts. As the 0-2 is fouled back, so we'll do it all over again. Yeah, Corona was listed as our player to watch in our pre-series article, and we encourage you to check that out on collegeblackbears.com, as that's where all the playoff tiebreakers can be found as well. Now long look over at Saunders at first. The 0-2 is popped up and fouled away again. Corona with 4 straight foul balls to start this at-bat. Corona with a .419 on base and a .556 slugging. So again, not your average number 9 batter. It's kind of like having Matthew Schwartz there. They actually have pretty similar power numbers. Only one more home run for Corona. There's another 0-2 coming up from Thompson. It's been filling up the zone, and he misses upstairs with the fastball, trying to get him to chase, and does not get the job done, 1-2. On the other side, your Black Bears in their forest green jerseys, piped out in orange. And they've got the Black Bears claw and baseball logo on the top left lapel in white and orange. White numbers on the back, trimmed in orange. White pants with an orange stripe down the left and right sides on the outside of the legs. Green socks, green caps, with the white Black Bears C logo filled in with an orange bear. As an even better sight to see is Corona swinging and missing at the downstairs changeup. Strikeout number 5 for Mickey Thompson. And there's one down as the lineup will flip over for Daniel Jernin. So Jernin is 0 for 1, the first strikeout victim of the evening against Mickey Thompson. Comes up in a spot where he represents the tying run. Jernin has some pop and is used to hitting here at David Story, as the first pitch to him is strike in the count 0-1. A lot of righties in this order for the Bellingham Bells, but Mickey Thompson just as good at getting out left-handers and right-handers alike, as he proved against the Ridgefield Raptors back on the 4th. And Jernin had a really nice season for LCC this year. Hit .383, and he had 5 home runs and 20 runs batted in, so a nice power bat for them. Now leadoff man for Bellingham as he takes one low and away, 1-1. Jernin actually has played a couple of seasons, and as we mentioned before, from Surrey, British Columbia, so coming a bit of a long way to come down here, but you know, the Red Devils are an excellent program, so they'll get guys from far and wide to come play in the NWAC and, you know, try to join that championship banner that they have up on the left field bleachers. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. Thompson looking at first. He delivers the next one, a beauty, a fastball on the outside corner. Took a little off that time, though, and it'll work the count down to 1-2. So a curveball is probably Thompson's best option here, as if he misses, he can get a swing and a miss. If Jernin makes contact on it, he'll get a double play ball. As the 1-2 is a chopper up the middle. Nishida picks it up, falls down, touches second. He got him. So it's a 4 unassisted on the fielder's choice. Nishida somehow able to continue to make that play. So the man erased at second is Saunders. Jernin to first, and now there's 2 down for Nick McLean.
That'll bring up center fielder Nick McLean.
Yeah, every time Nishida touches the baseball, it is a fun, it is really fun to watch, that's for sure. So now Nick McLean steps up, 1 for 2 with a ground ball to Matthew Schwartz. And he deals the first one, misses below the knees of McLean, and the count 0-1. Now we're looking over at McLean's numbers. 250 hitter. And then with Jernin on first, he actually leads the team in stolen bases. He's got 11. It's been caught twice. Wilson Weber, though, does have a rifle. So we'll want to think twice before trying to grab second base. As the 1-0 is a breaking ball above the belt. 2 balls and no strikes. So Brown holding him on, and when he comes off the base, he's actually been jumping in on the grass-colored turf to guard against a softer hit ball, maybe something off the end of the bat of McLean. Now Thompson's 2-0. Curveball is hit high in the air, but that's going to slice foul over on the right side, so we'll do a 2-1 count up next. Black Bears lead it 2-0 here over Bellingham, just how they needed to get started. It's not exactly a must-win, but it kind of is in the same way. If the Black Bears cannot sweep Bellingham, they're going to have to count on Ben to lose all 3 of their games. And they're going to have to count on Ridgefield and Portland to lose 2 games in their series. Now the 2-1 is a curveball that's scooped over to Bozette, popped in the air, and actually bounced off home plate. So a 2-2 count. It was a little, I wasn't quite sure what happened there. I thought for a second maybe it had bounced on the plate, but the way that it had just continued to carry in the air, it didn't look like it had started on the ground and sprang up. But that is what happened. So McLean in an even 2-2 count. Chance for Thompson to get out of the inning here. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Man on first. He kicks, he fires, and the curveball crossed the plate high. He thought he had strike 3. And he'll have to pace on back to the rubber. Now, as a former pitcher, I can see where Thompson's coming from there. You drop in a filthy curveball, and it ends up, you see it in Weber's glove right below his belt. But a good call there by John Pullen. It did cross the plate a little high, and that's what counts. Now the payoff. Another curveball is popped up behind home plate, and again, that'll be a souvenir for the fans, so we'll do it all over again. And now Ridgefield with a 2-0 lead over Walla Walla in the top of the third. Portland 2-0 up against Port Angeles in the top of the third, and a tie game between Ben and Corvallis 2-2 in the bottom of the third inning. So we'll keep looking at those scoreboards and let you know what they mean moving forward. So far, the standings will just hold steady as the 3-2 is hit in the air to shallow right. Stinson hustles in on it. He's got to battle the sun a little, but he's able to make the grab and put him down for the final out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. Let's go to the bottom of the third. Black Bears 2, Bells nothing, as Cowlitz will come to bat against Joey Dixon on your home for Cowlitz Baseball, KEDO, and YouTube. Brock Bozette, Jacob Stinson, Sam Brown going to lead it off for your Black Bears. They have a 2-0 lead over the Bells here in the bottom of the third inning. Joey Dixon's looked pretty good, but the Black Bears have been able to see the ball well against him. They got those 4 hits, and, well, they haven't been exactly cheap ones either. Bozette's got 1, and it drove in Nishida back in the first inning, and now it looked to lead off with a nice little base hit.
Leading off the bottom of the third for the Black Bears, third baseman Brock Bozette.
And the first offering to Bozette is down and outside, 1-0. So Brock Bozette, I mentioned before, he leads the team in RBI, but also Bozette leads the team in McDonald's sandwiches bought for broadcasters, as he bought me a spicy McChicken and a McDouble before the game. So to me, that's one of the most important stats. He also leads the team in rides given to broadcasters to the ballpark. So he's the MVP in my book. So the next one to Bozette missed away, and the 2-0 is dribbled slowly to short. Going to be a tough play by Saunders. Fires across the diamond off the stretch, and they got him. Luis Avilas nearly doing a split there is what made the difference as Bozette was hustling down the line. And now there's 1 down here in the bottom of the third. Here's Jacob Stinson. And now, I always root for Bozette's success. I root for every Black Bears success, but I was saying to Brock, I said, hey, we might have to go to McDonald's tomorrow if you get a couple of hits. Now, he does already have an RBI single, so we might be in store for another nice meal. And, of course, the McDonald's of Longview and Woodland are proud sponsors of the Black Bears. So all we're really doing is, you know, promoting our sponsors even further. Jacob Stinson takes a strike on the inside, 0-1. Stinson's father is in attendance today, as this one is down and away, 1-1. I'm not sure if his mom's here, but we'll see. They usually come together to the games, although I'd understand if one has to stay home. They do live all the way in Pleasanton, California. That's quite the trip. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. Next one is a fastball high, 2-1 to the University of Nevada, Reno outfielder. Stinson has got a sweet swing, and he was robbed of a hit before by a nice play by Ty Saunders. Lined one just over to his side. He reached across his body to make the play as Stinson takes a stickball pitch low and in. And the count now 3-1. Yeah, 1 bound before home plate. Something you'd see on the streets of Brooklyn. But I get it. You know, wooden apparatus in Stinson's sand. Not quite a broom handle, but we're good to go. Hey, every pitcher does that once in a while. As the 3-1. Stinson gets a hold of it, but that's going to go foul on the left end. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the Black Bears lead at 2-0 in the bottom of the third with 1 down against the Bellingham Bells. This is the first time that they've played each other this season. It was very interesting. 3-game series against Bellingham and 3 against Corvallis. Those are the only teams that they played just 3 times. As Stinson staying tough, a 3-2 count and another foul ball. And historically, this Bellingham Bell squad has been one of the better teams in the West Coast League. As the 3-2 is grounded sharply to short. Picked up by Saunders. He's been busy today. Short arms to throw, so Stinson's going to be in there easily. That's the second time that Saunders has fired it over to first on a hop, and they're going to give Stinson a single. As now it's the 5th hit of the contest for the Black Bears, and Sam Brown going to step on up. He's got 1 of those today and also drove in a run. So back to Bellingham history. They actually have 5 West Coast League championships. Oh, no. 3. They have 5 playoff appearances. There we go. They won in 2015, 2016, and 2018 went to the playoffs, and won in 2014. There we go. You know what? I wrote this very weird. So Brown takes the ball 1-0. Bellingham made it to the playoffs in 2012, 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2018, but they only won in 2014. And they also won the PIL championship in 1999, the first year of their existence. So now Brown takes a fastball, but it just zips in for a strike. 1-1 to the big lefty. And a couple of noticeable alumni from Bellingham. Jeff Francis was a longtime Colorado Rockies ace. And Mark Rachimsky, who gave the New York Yankees a lot of nightmares as a reliever for Toronto, as often running as Stinson, and they call him out. The pitch was high for a ball, and all right, now they call Stinson safe. Okay. So I thought Stinson was safe to begin with. Now, I don't know if Saunders dropped the ball or what. To me, it looked like Stinson had beat the throw and the tag. But hey, you know what? I'm all about, I don't mind if you change your mind as long as the call is correct. So Gabe Vargas calling Stinson safe. Another swipe back for Jacob this year. And now he extends his lead on the Black Bears for most steals without being caught. He's got 8. Now the 2-1 is outside to Brown. Lee trying to pull it over the plate, but nothing doing. And the count now 3 balls and 1 strike. Hitters count to a very dangerous power bat in the middle of the Black Bear order. And you know how strong Brown is. I mean, he's got a home run here at David Story. That's not an easy thing to do as he takes one away. Ball 4. So on Dixon's 51st pitch, he puts Brown aboard for free. And there's 2 on with 1 down. Here's Brock Mortensen. And you know he's hungry to show what he can do after popping up in the first inning. Back in the first inning. Wind doesn't seem to be as strong as it could be here at David Story. It's at around 9 miles an hour. It's a little hot today, 86 degrees, so the ball should fly a little more. As the first offering to Mortensen's a breaking ball high and outside, 1-0. And all these games, incredibly important for the Black Bears, and we want you to be here to help cheer them on. And you can get tickets to tomorrow's game and Thursday's game at CountsBlackBears.com. The game time's at 6:35 p.m. as Mortensen pops it up again, but this time to shallow center. Drifting back is Saunders. He's dancing around. Now the infield fly rule called, and he's able to make the grab above his head and send him away for out number 2. Now you might be asking, hey, Zach, why is that an infield fly if that's in the outfield? Well, if it's a pop-up that's really a playable ball for an infielder, they want to protect the base runners and make sure that they don't just drop it and have an easy double or triple play in that sense. So even if it does go onto the outfield grass, it's determined by the umpires that it is an easy enough play that if they drop it, it'll confuse the base runners. They can call it an infield fly rule. So now Jace Bailey will step up 0 for 1, hit the ball hard but on the ground right at Saunders. And the first pitch from Dixon to strike 0-1. Bailey hit a booming shot that went over 400 feet in left center back in Wenatchee. It's his second home run of the season, and that was his first one since June 2nd against Ridgefield, where he was actually batting left-handed. But now exclusively batting right-handed, he abandoned switch hitting as now a swing and a miss. And he falls behind 0-2, back-to-back breaking balls from Joey Dixon. So despite the hits that the Black Bears have gotten, Dixon's got some pretty good stuff out there. You can tell he's struggling with his control a little bit today, missing off the plate and falling behind. So that's why the Black Bears have been able to get into favorable counts against him. But just 2 runs on 5 hits. And the 0-2 is punched in the air foul. No balls and 2 strikes. So Jace Bailey, one of 4 Black Bears that actually had to transfer out of the Boise State program. He'll be going to the University of Utah at the beginning of this year. Dawson Marion transferred to University of Nevada, Reno. Matty Fung is going to Santa Barbara Community College. And there's also one more Boise Stater from the Black Bears. So now the 0-2 is in there. Strike 3. Bailey is caught on strikes and sent down for the final out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit. No errors, and 2 left the board. Top of the 4th coming up. Black Bears 2, Bells none. Bellingham coming to bat on your homes for Cal's Black Bears Baseball, YouTube, and KEDO. Top of the fourth inning now. Lee Aviles and Davis due up. Mickey Thompson's looked great so far. No runs on one hit. Just one error behind him, and also Thompson has not registered a walk. So just as sharp as he was against Corvallis, an important game for the Black Bears. And yeah, they're going to lean on him. He's going to be somebody that they're going to need come playoff time. As we mentioned earlier, the Black Bears losing all kinds of pitchers. Most notably, James Bradwell, who was going to join the starting rotation, but then he was picked up by Akib Quebec of the Frontier League. Actually, that's the same league that I work for back home in Jersey. The New Jersey Jackals are in that league as well, and we're trying to take a look to see when Bradwell first gets in the game. But right now, focused on this one and a lot of others around the league as well, as Lee swings and misses at the first curve he sees, 0-1. Lee is 0 for 1. As he flied out to Jacob Stinson back and right to conclude the first inning. And the 0-1 from Thompson, curveball, bounces off of Weber's glove and dings right off the pole. That's holding our netting together. So we'll even the count now at 1-1 to the power-hitting right-hander. And these Bells, you can't mess with them. They clinched the playoff spot for a reason. Score 5.1 runs per game, get just under 8 hits per contest. It's a talented group. Mickey Thompson's just been that much better as he gets a foul ball, 1-2. But the thing with the Bells today, they've been getting a lot of fouls from Thompson. He likes to work around the edges, and honestly, his command of all three pitches has been excellent today. That curveball has been super sharp. As looking for strikeout number 6. The 1-2 is fouled back. Lee with a bit of a defensive swing. Fastball up and in. That'll make you swing, but you'll rarely get good contact. So 1-2 all over again. Yeah, Ted Williams used to say the toughest pitch to hit is that fastball that's up and in because it looks so good, but it's actually one of the more difficult ones to get your hands around on. So now the 1-2, breaking ball. Schwartz picks it up on a hop. On the outfield grass, fires across the diamond. A perfect strike to Brown, and they got him. Matthew Schwartz with another great play for the Black Bears, and there's one away. Now, that was not an easy play for Schwartz. As that short hopped him on a hard liner, he's able to pick it up and make a nice smooth throw, and that's why defense is so important in baseball. It's not talked about enough. The Black Bears are only as good as they are because of the defensive unit that they've been able to sport out here all season long. Of course, a lot of other factors, but it certainly helps when you got guys that steal base hits and make all the plays out there. So now Aviles fouls one away, and the count 0-1. Luis Aviles, right-handed batter, is 0 for 1. And if you want to hear more of Matthew Schwartz, check out our Black Bears YouTube page. He's in our final episode of On the Road with the Black Bears. And there's some surprise appearances from a couple other of your favorite Bears this summer. So you'll want to check that out. It's actually one of the best interviews that we've done. And I'm not just saying that. They just keep getting better and better as the season goes on. Thompson missed up and outside, so now the count 1-1. And the off-speed pitch is popped up on the right side. Brown drifting over near some shadows and foul ground and will make the grab for out number 2. So the freshman All-American from the University of Portland makes the play. And Thompson looking for another 1-2-3 inning. Here's A.J. Davis.
Third baseman A.J. Davis.
Davis had the hot corner for Bellingham today. His 0 for 1 was freeze-framed by Mickey Thompson, pitch right on the inside edge, and sent down as one of Thompson's 5 strikeout victims. Yeah, the question mark with Thompson is always, is his command going to be there? If the answer is yes, he's going to mow you down. And that's what's happened today as he missed in 1-0. And even when he doesn't have his best command, he's still difficult to hit because his off-speed pitches, they all drop very well, and he'll deuce a lot of ground balls. As the 1-0, there's another ground ball. Schwartz across the diamond with his foot right next to the second base bag, and he throws it away. Actually, I don't think Brown could see it, because Brown kind of looked like he was battling the sun a little there. That's going to go as an error by Schwartz, though. So 2 errors by the Black Bears, both on that formidable left side of the infield. And actually getting over to second is going to be A.J. Davis as that rolled in and out of the Bells dugout. So another chance for with runners in scoring position for Bellingham. And today the Bells just 0 for 1 with the man on second, third, or both. It's going to be up to the number 6 batter, Alex Lambo, to try to get something done. Another right-hander as Thompson turns around the pickoff play, and the ball goes into center field. There goes the runner. Mortensen's going to pick it up, come up throwing, and it is not in time as Riku Nishida just barely missed that. A third error for the Black Bears, and a costly one at that, is now a run just 90 feet from home. So Davis going to third on the E1. And Lambo actually reached on the first error of the game. And that was by Brock Bozette. Again, the sun is shining very hard over towards the first baseman, as the first one to Lambo is hit off the barrel, but pushed foul on the right, 0-1. 2 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors, 4 left for Cowlitz. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left aboard for the Bellingham Bells. It's the 0-1. Is once again fouled almost in the exact same location. And the count 0-2. Now, a great place to sit is really anywhere in David Story Field, but if you're looking for foul balls, that right field end is so great in foul territory, especially when there's a lot of right-handers. All the foul balls go that way. And if you want tickets to those, you can get it at CowlitzBlackbears.com. As the 0-2 is grounded over to third. Bozette picks it up on a hop, fires across the diamond. Brown with the stretch, and he puts him down for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, 2 errors, and just 1 left aboard at the end of 3.5. It's the Black Bears with 2, the Bells with none, and Cowlitz coming to bat in the bottom of the 4th on your homes for Black Bears Baseball, YouTube, and KEDO.
If you are active military or a veteran, law
So in the bottom of the 4th inning pitching change, Trevin Hope will take the mound for the Bellingham Bells, as now the starter, Joey Dixon, can lose, but he cannot win. So Black Bears lead at 2-0. It's going to be Weber, Mulcair, and Schwartz coming up, so we'll give you the final line on Dixon. Actually pitched pretty well through 3. Dixon went a trio of innings, allowing 2 runs, both earned, on 5 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. No extra base hits, though. And 57 pitches, 33 for strikes. That's 57.9%. So Wilson Weber will step up. He's 0 for 1. He popped out his first time up. Coming up to the John Cena intro. I mean, you know, that kind of matches Weber's personality. Bit of a tough guy. He's a great athlete, though, man. Nice kid from Gresham, Oregon. As the first one from Hope is a hard fastball that's grounded over to the shortstop. Saunders there, fires across the diamond offline, but is stretched by Aviles as he collapses with his foot on the bag and makes a fantastic play to put him down for out number 1. So Ty Saunders, again, has been ridiculously busy out there. Another assist for him. Here's Sean Mulcair. Mulcair 0 for 1, lined out over to Saunders. And another play for him. Mulcair, left-handed batter from the University of Portland, takes a fastball right down the middle. And the count 0-1. So Hope, including non-league games, is 1-5 with a 3.60 ERA. This is his 11th appearance, as his curveball is in at the knees for a strike, 0-2. He has started 7 times, so just his 4th relief appearance. He's done 35 innings, 38 Ks, 13 walks, a whip of 1.39. Now the 0-2 is tapped off the glove of Lee and will trickle foul on the left end. So the count will remain 0-2. And his last time out on the mound came on August 5th at Portland. Hope went 2 2/3 innings, a scoreless ball, allowing 3 hits, 1 walk, and struck out 2 pickles at Walker Stadium. He is not allowed to run in league play since July 14th as Mulcair waves at the next one and can't make contact, so he's down on strikes for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down. Matthew Schwartz coming up. He is 1 for 1 with a base hit up the middle. As Schwartz licking his chops, waiting for another chance for a multi-hit game. And the first one is a strike to Schwartz, 0-1. And Schwartz with 15 multi-hit games of the season. And he's got 6 of them in his last 8 games. As the next one from Hope, another strike. Big strike thrower. He's thrown 7 over the plate, and those are just all his pitches this inning. Bases empty, no balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Hope delivers. He got him, strike 3. Just a little bit of late movement there from Hope, able to catch the upper part of the strike zone, and he sends him down for the final out of the frame. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left to board. Top 5 coming up. Black Bears 2, Bells none, and Bellingham coming to bat on your home for Cal's Black Bears Baseball, KEDO, and YouTube. Top of the 5th now as Corby the Bear has won his first race of the season out there. How about that, Corby? Although I don't know how I feel showing up a couple of kids, but you know what? Corby's got to get some wins. He did get a trophy today, the Columbia River Cup, as he actually presented it to Brian Burrs, handed it over. The kids were really giving him a run for his money, as I actually think Corby was running as fast as he could. It's not easy to run in that suit. No, it's not easy to run as a bear. Keeping it alive here. Malachi Knight, Ty Saunders, Emilio Corona all due up here for the Bellingham Bells. Actually, Corby got a hit the other day. Not here, but we were doing a camp over at the other end of town here in Longview. And it's hard for Corby to see baseballs, but he was able to get a nice little grounder up the middle. I believe it was off Jaden Shepard. Shepard at first base, he can throw pretty hard. First one from Thompson is a changeup at the knees, 0-1 tonight. He was 0-4-1 with a strikeout. Black Bears looking good so far. 2 runs, 5 hits, but 3 errors. No consequences for them, though. They've left 4 aboard as Knight pops one up on the right side of the infield. Brown is there, Nishida to back him up, but Sam going to make the grab and send him down for out number 1 as Thompson continues to cruise now through 4 1/3, only at 65 pitches. Now, the Black Bears bullpen has kind of been hit hard by a lot of guys leaving. Going back to school and whatnot, they did lose Mark Wanarovich recently, and, of course, James Bradwell. So now Keegan Wright will slot into the closer role, and a bigger role for Parkin, Rowe, Takalo, Hatakanaka, both Takalos really, as Thompson's first pitch is a curveball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Thompson with 66 pitches, 49 for strikes. That's 74.2%. Gotta love what you're seeing out of him as the next one misses high, 1-1. So let's look at those scoreboards again around the league. And some good news for the Black Bears. Corvallis now lead Ben 5-3. They do need Ben to lose at least 2 games as Thompson misses down and in, 2-1. So fortunately for the Black Bears, the Knights lead it 5-3 in the bottom of the 5th. Portland are up on Port Angeles 2-0. That's in the bottom of the 4th at Civic Field. And Ridgefield lead the Sweets by a score of 3-0. That's at Burlesky Stadium in the top of the 5th. So 2-1 curve, high and away, 3 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, ideally the Black Bears, they really need a sweep of Bellingham, which is not something the Black Bears have done all season. They have not swept a team nor have been a victim of a sweep. Now the 3-1 is low and away, ball 4. So the first walk issued by Thompson, and it comes with 1 down in the top of the 5th. Here's Emilio Corona. The Black Bears are hoping grounds into a double play. And as a matter of fact, the Black Bears, against every team that they've played 6 times, have split 3-3, except the Port Angeles Lefties, who they won the season series against 4-2. And then they only played Corvallis in 3 league games. And they won 1 and lost 2, and the 2 losses were very close games. The victory was a 10-1 blowout in favor of your Bears this summer. First one from Thompson is a low fastball, 1-0. Again, trying to look for that ground ball from Corona. Emilio leads the team with 4 home runs and is 0 for 1 today. Batting in the 9 spot as Ty Saunders with a nice lead off the bag. The 1-0 is grounded over to third, could be 2. Bozette flips in Nishida for 1. He stretches. That's the only play he's going to be able to make, though, as the ball was hit a little too slowly. So a nice little 5-4 on the fielder's choice gets the job done, and puts 2 on the board, or 2 outs on the board, I should say, for Daniel Jernin. He'll be up for the 3rd time today. And Jernin with 3 dingers on the season. That is tied for 2nd. Aviles, Hinkleman, and Corona all have 4 ahead of him. Jernin 0 for 2. A strikeout and a fielder's choice for him today. As the first offering a curveball, just a little low. Did clip that outside corner, though. And the count 1-0. Yeah, the Black Bears really looking for Thompson to give him the length they gave him last time. At least 6 innings would be really helpful, but 7 would be even better. Now a long pause with Corona on first, decides to fire over, not in time. Yeah, Thompson only had 73 pitches, so keeping that count very economical. He does have 2 outs already in the top of the 5th, so at any point is 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. But as LCC fans will know, Jernin not exactly an easy out. So 1-0 is low, 2 balls and no strikes. And for the last couple of games of the regular season, we like to appreciate our fans, so it's going to be 20% off all merch at the table. So get decked out in Black Bears gear, wear it to the game, and then get ready to wear it for next season. It'll be a good time. I know I'll be wearing my stuff all year long. As the 2-0 from Mickey is high, 3 balls and no strikes from the San Jose State University Southpaw. And interestingly enough, Mickey Thompson, actually he'll be attending the same college as Ryan, the Bells broadcaster. So maybe they'll run into each other on campus come this fall. 3-0 is low, ball 4. Thompson having a little trouble with the walks this inning. He's got a pair of base on balls, but it isn't showing any signs that would prompt Corey Keir to be concerned. Although I do think they're going to have to start stretching out Jake Dent in the bullpen just in case. All right, so here comes pitching coach Corey Keir. And he is going to talk to Thompson. At first, I didn't think he'd have to come on out. So Corey Keir is going to have a quick little chat. And once again, Corey Keir naming your pitching coach. Sorry, I had a question from Ryan next to me. He wanted to know who he was. I was trying to make it smooth. I said it loud twice in a row. I don't think he heard me. But we got it 3rd time's the charm. We're actually not as close as you'd think. So we're really only sitting about 6 feet apart, nice and socially distant. But because of the way that the press box is kind of situated, and we both have headphones on, you can't really hear what the other guy is saying too much. But Mickey Thompson heard what Corey Keir had to say, so he's ready to go. Against McLean, who's put the ball in play twice, but it does not have a hit. It's grounded out to Matthew Schwartz and popped out into shallow right field. So Gallatin, the biggest jam that they've been in today defensively. 2 on and 2 down. So the tying run actually on base. And the first one from Mickey is line, and that's going to be caught by Jace Bailey. Jace Bailey on one knee is able to read that ball the whole way and steal an extra, or rather just a base hit, and probably an RBI away from Nick McLean. So no runs on, no hits, no errors, 2 walks, 2 left to board. We're halfway through at David Story, heading into the bottom of the 5th. Your Black Bears lead it 2-0 on the Bells with Cowlitz coming to bat on your home for Black Bears baseball, YouTube and KEDO. Halfway through here at David Story Field, another Cowlitz Black Bears pace. An hour and 15 minutes in already, which is a far cry from what was going on in Wenatchee. I think every game was about 3 hours, highlighted by a 3-hour and 38-minute game 1, where 28 total runs were scored. So moving along here. 2-0 Cowlitz lead, and the top of their order coming up against Trevin Hope. It'll be the first time that he'll face Nishida Bozette and Stinson this year. Again, this is the first time the Black Bears have played the Bells since 2019. Riku 1 for 2, the base hit and a ground out as he punches one hard liner to center. That's going to drop in for a base hit. So Nishida has now extended his multi-hit game streak to 4 as he mashes another one and will reach. They're going to have to keep an eye on him.
Third baseman,
Brock Bozette coming up 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. Both pole balls, one of them over the head of Ty Saunders and the other one over in the vicinity of A.J. Davis. It's now Hope from the stretch. Slide step delivery. Bozette squares around to bunt, pulls it back, and the pitch a ball. Now a throw, not in time. So everything works out for the Black Bears, 1-0. Brock Bozette leads the team with 5 bunt singles on the season, or 6 actually. Yeah, he's up to 6 now. And he's also got 4 sack bunts. Nishida ahead of him with 7. And now Hope checks on Riku at a big lead, but the throw not in time. Now Riku can take that big of a lead because he's so fast, but the only problem for him, he is only 5'6". So he doesn't have like the arm span to go back and reach, so he's got to just rely on that quick first step. And now again, 12 feet off the bag at first. And another throw as Hope must have heard the distance that I just told him. And the count will remain 1-0. Now Riku does have a stolen base already in today's game. And again, a big lead for Brock Bozette. And the next offering to him, Nishida goes high chopper, so Nishida gets a second easily. Davis picks it up, fires to first, and they got him. But, well, at the end of the day, Bozette did kind of get the sacrifice he was looking for. The hit and run was in effect, and he grounds out on a high chopper, but does his job, and is able to move his man over to second. So now Jacob Stinson will step on up. He is 1 for 2 with a line out and a base hit. And if you're the Bells, now they might not be so aware because they haven't played Cowlitz, but Nishida will steal third base as well. That's not something he's afraid to do, especially if he gets a great jump. First one to Stinson is a off-speed pitch inside, 0-1, just on the black of the plate. Cowlitz would love to get Sam Brown up with a couple of guys on base, or at least with a run driven in by Stinson. And Stinson also a guy with a ton of multi-hit outings for the Black Bears, as the 0-1 on the way is a swing and a miss. And the count now 0-2 to the Black Bears right fielder. And we talk about hitting streaks. Jacob Stinson now on an 11-game hitting streak. Last time he went hitless was July 25th against Port Angeles, but he did score twice in that game. So he extended that today. As the 0-2 is belted high and deep to center field. Going back is McLean near the track. Oh, and he makes the grab above his head. Tagging is Nishida. He'll get to third, but Jacob Stinson obliterates the baseball. At the very least is able to move Nishida over to third, but after the home run in the last game and that loud out, seems like Stinson's found his power stroke here.
Play now for the Black Bears.
Now that's probably out in a couple other ballparks. Again, the wind will kill fly balls out there in center. Again, that barn is tough to play off of. But the Black Bears do their job. They are able to get Nishida to third. Now they just have to bring him across the plate. Sam Brown 1 for 1 with a single and a walk today, also an RBI. First one to lefty, breaking ball, swing and a miss by Brown, and the count 0-1. Actually, they're going to say he got a piece of it. And Brown now with a 10-game hitting streak, so just the guys that you want in the middle of the Black Bear order, Stinson and Brown. Nishida, a great plate setter. He's now been on base in 22 straight games. Brock Bozette always seems to be moving guys over and driving them in. Now Hope sets over at the letters, the 0-1. Another breaking ball, a little higher, and Brown can't take advantage on the hanger outside, and the count quickly 0-2. 2-0 Cowlitz lead in the bottom of the fifth with 2 down. Riku Nishida waits over on third base. He had a single, a stolen, or rather no stolen base. Single, advanced second on a hit and run. They got to third off a loud fly ball to deep center by Jacob Stinson. And now the fastball outside, 1-2 to Brown. Now what a pickup Sam's been for the Black Bears. He has not been here very long. In fact, this is only his 12th game for him, but he's had such a huge impact on the middle of this order. And you can see each and every game why he was a freshman All-American as a Portland Pilot. So now Sam Brown takes an off-speed pitch low, 2-2. And Cowlitz Black Bears once again would like to thank all their loyal fans all season long for being so great and coming out in the return to baseball to Longview. And I'd like to thank fans with 20% off merchandise here at David Story Field when you come to the game. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. And on Thursday, as Brown swings and misses at the curveball and is sent down on strikes for the final out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left aboard for Cowlitz. We go to the top of the 6th. Black Bears 2, Bells none. Bellingham coming to bat on your homes for Cowlitz Black Bears Baseball YouTube at 99.1 FM, 1400 AM, Longview, or KDO, Longview, Kelso. We'll be right back. Top 6 now, Lee Aviles Davis all due up. Lee is 0 for 2 against another frame from Mickey Thompson. Got into a little trouble in the last inning as he walked a couple of batters, but was able to get out of it. It's going to be difficult, though, against a very powerful part of this Bells lineup. So if you get the idea, if Thompson can get through here.
Happy birthday to Alex. Happy birthday to you.
then he might be able to come right back out for the 7th inning and maybe preserve a couple of arms as Jake Dent getting hot in the pen for the Black Bears. And now the first one from Mickey, curveball, and it's a strike on the outside edge, and the count 0-1.
Bennett Lee.
And now a ball somehow ends up on the field. Where'd that come from? Oh, wherever it came from, it's going back to the Black Bears dugout. Ooh, Sean Mulcair with some football moves out there. Kicking it around. I mean, all the Black Bears have great footwork. They play about like a half hour of hacky-sack before every game. It's the 0-1. Swing and a miss on the upstairs change, and the count 0-2. Mickey Thompson through 5 innings so far has not allowed a run. Just 1 hit, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Thompson has only given up 3 hits in his last 12 innings. And the 0-2 is fouled straight back, so Lee was right on that. And the count will remain no balls and 2 strikes. So it's been a little while. Let's go check the scores around the rest of the West Coast League. And Corvallis still clinging to a lead, but now it's cut down to 1. They lead the Elks 5-4 in the bottom of the 6th. Portland with a 2-0 lead on Port Angeles, and Ridgefield lead Walla Walla 4-0. Both those games at the top of the 5th as Thompson missed with that one, 1-2. And then another game, Yakima Valley lead the Wenatchee Apple Sox 5-2, although that game is inconsequential as Yakima Valley have already clinched a playoff spot and Wenatchee are out of contention. And Thompson's 1-2, just a little inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bennett Lee, today's catcher. Bellingham got hot in the second half and were able to clinch that second spot. They got off to a really slow start to the season and were able to rally through. Again, a lot like the Black Bears, except they play in a bit of a weaker division, so that's why they're in that second spot. But again, this is a very good ball club. So Lee fouls one away, and the count stays 2-2. They actually helped the Black Bears out a lot. They swept the Ridgefield Raptors about a week or so ago. So now the 2-2 crushed high and deep to left center. There that one goes over Bailey's head. That one's gone. Bennett Lee cuts the deficit in half with a solo home run to left. And again, we're saying the wind's not blowing as hard. So now it's a 2-1 ball game. Still nobody out in the top of the 6th. For Lee, that's home run number 2, RBI number 11. And yeah, that's why he's batting in the 3 spot. So here comes Luis Aviles as Thompson just missed there. Fastball caught a little too much plate on the inside, and well, there it went back where it came from. So now Thompson looking to bounce back. First offering is belted foul, and the count 0-1. So good to see Thompson not afraid to throw strikes in that situation, as Bellingham continued to hit a lot of home runs. As they are now, I felt like they had more. They have 22 now on the season. They're tied for 7 with the Ben Elks. For some reason, I thought they had a lot more. And we got some numbers on the Bennett Lee home run. 100.3 miles an hour and 365 feet, so a foot for each day of the year. Now Thompson misses low, 1-1. Launch angle of just 24 degrees, so yeah, that was a liner that got out of here in a hurry. Thompson still looking for the first out of the top of the 6th. Now the Black Bears lead cut down to 1, and Aviles is able to take the breaking ball down and in. 2 balls and a strike. So Jake Dent going to be up next out of the Black Bears pen. As now Thompson steps off, he's going to need an extra second. And the Cowlitz Black Bears getting just 1 game out of a playoff spot with 3 games to go. Chasing 3 other teams, though, as Mickey lisses low and in. The count now 3-1. Though they just need Ridgefield and Portland to lose 1 game apiece, as they do own the tiebreakers on those 2. Due to their better winning percentage against the Corvallis Knights, also run differential. The only team that they really have to worry about is Bend, who own every tiebreaker against the Black Bears. So now the 3-1 is fouled right off of Aviles' leg, and ooh, he's down on 1 knee by home plate. Those do not feel good. And he's just going to walk that one off. Aviles certainly a good athlete, though. We've seen him make a couple of sweet stretches over there at first base to really steal some infield singles away from the Black Bears. So Avila is having himself a good ball game and hopefully able to stay in. He's still favoring, he didn't hit his ankle, but favoring the outer part of his right foot. That is a bit of a tender area. Payoff pitch coming up from Mickey Thompson with the bases empty. Could really use an out right here after surrendering the solo shot. And the 3-2 is low, ball 4. Thompson has now issued his third base on balls of the game and has now matched his line against Ridgefield with 3 walks, 2 hits, and an earned run, although he's only done that in 5 innings here. And he is 4 strikeouts shy, as now call to the bullpen going to be made as Thompson's pitch count getting up there. And it's going to be Jake Dent going to enter, right-hander from Sonoma State. As another good outing from Thompson goes 5+, but it'll be up to Dent to get the Black Bears out of this jam. It's the top of the 6th, 1 out with nobody out. And 2 for the Black Bears, 1 for the Bells. We'll be right back after this pitcher warms up on YouTube and KEDO. Jacob, can I have 2 minutes, please? Jacob?
Cascade Natural Gas for
So in the top of the 6th, Mickey Thompson is out. Jake Dent is in. And Thompson's book cannot be closed yet as Aviles waits on first. So unless he's retired,
to the plate.
He's still responsible for Aviles as A.J. Davis can step up. He's 0 for 2 with the strikeout looking, and he's reached on an error. Dent struggled a little bit as of late, but still one of the more effective relievers for the Black Bears this season. As he's given up 4 runs in his last 1 2/3 innings. 1 against Ridgefield, though, and 1 against Wenatchee. 2 great hitting squads. Bell's more in the middle of the pack there, so let's see if he can smooth things out against this other team. As first one, fastball high and away, 1-0. Dent, including non-league games, is 0-1 with a 4.43 ERA. He is now making his 19th appearance. He has 20 1/3 innings pitched, 19 strikeouts, 16 walks, and a whip of 1.87. His last outing against Wenatchee allowed a run on 1 hit and 3 strikeouts in 1 frame as he throws over to first, not in time. So Cal's turning over to a slightly depleted bullpen. Again, losing Wadarovich and Bradwell, 2 of their big guys. So they're going to have to lean on some of the newer members and Sawyer Parkin and Phillip Rowe. They're going to take some extended roles, as well as Liam Hanakanaka. And the 1-0, squares around a bunt, pulls back, but it's a strike anyway. Right on the black, 1-1 to A.J. Davis. So Dent, it's better when he pitches off that curveball. but he's been mostly fastball, well, only fastball through his first 2 pitches. Want to see him throw that secondary, though, a little bit more. As it sets up that fastball, it becomes an out pitch as they throw over to first. A nice tag by Brown, but it's not in time. So 1-1 coming up to Davis. Again, the Black Bears looking for that ground ball double play. As the tying run in scoring position for Bellingham, and the go-ahead's at the plate, but it looks like they're going to have Davis bunt here. And the 1-1 is outside. Oh, they had a chance for a snap throw, but Brown was crashing in for the bunt, so there was nowhere for Weber to throw that baseball. So he smartly eats the throw, and the count now 2-1. And Jake Dent from Sonoma State, 6'4", 235 pounds, from Pinole, California. He's actually one of the older members of the team. He is 24. And the 2-1 is a bunt over on the first base side. Brown will pick it up in foul territory. So now they count 2 balls and 2 strikes. And my mistake, Dent 23. He will be 24 January 21st of 2022. Yeah, I saw 97, and I for whatever reason, I read it as 96, so go figure. So now the bunt should be coming off from Davis. They don't want to risk the 2-strike bunt, as that would be an out. So let's see if Dent tries to funnel in that curveball here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner waiting on first base. Dent comes set, a long look. He kicks, he fires. A curve, low, 3-2. That was a great pitch by Dent there. Started over at the knees and went down. Actually broke a little too much on Davis. It's now full count to the third baseman for Bellingham. Dent does not want to issue a walk. That'd be back-to-back for Bellingham. As the 3-2 is popped up over on the right side of the infield. Brown hustling over, as is Weber. And Brown going to call him off and make the catch for a big first out at the top of the 6th inning. 1 down, Alex Lembo to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He's hit sharp grounders to Brock Bozette twice. He reached on an error the first time and grounded out in his second trip. Although both of those to Mickey Thompson. Dent, a very different kind of pitcher. Not only does he pitch from the opposite side, but very different stuff for him as well. And Dent, another long look. First offering is a curveball that's dribbled foul over the head of the third base coach for the Bells, and the count 0-1. Yeah, Dent, not exactly a big ground ball guy. Only 39.3% of the contact made off him goes on the ground. The rest are all in the air. So mostly a fly ball pitcher, although that does play well here at David Story Field. Especially when the wind's coming in, but not as strong today, and actually blowing to the opposite direction. It's blowing out to left. And a quick throw over to first is not in time. Yeah, overall the Black Bears, though, are for the most part a ground ball team, 47.6%. But they've got some guys that are pretty high up there, including Liam Hanakanaka is at 77.8%. As the 0-1 breaking ball is once again slapped over to third. And will go foul. Mickey Thompson going to try to retrieve that one. Ooh, I think he's going to be beat out by newly christened closer Keegan Wright. As Wright has now been given the 9th inning role with Wanarovich going home. Well, the good thing for the Black Bears, though, you lose a Wanarovich, you can still slot in a Keegan Wright. And another guy you can trust in a high-leverage spot. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Man on first. In a 2-1 ball game, Black Bears lead at home. Fastball from Dent is a laser beam, but misses upstairs, 1-2. The bullpen for the Black Bears has really been a strength for them all season long now. Leaning on Dent to try to get him out of another tough spot in a close game, and hopefully the Black Bears bats can start to pick it up. They have 2 scored in the first inning, but nothing since then. 1-2. Curveball popped up over into shallow left. Schwartz going back on it, but Bailey's going to call him off. He's got the easier track to the ball. And Dent gets a couple of pop-ups to record 2 consecutive outs in the top of the 6th. And with 2 away, here's Malachi Knight, who is 0 for 2. He has struck out swinging and flied out over to Sam Brown on the first base side of the infield. A lot of pop-ups today for these Bellingham Bells. Actually, Nishida was able to catch that pop-up, but it was a little close to the brown as this one's hit high and deep. Over to left, Bailey going back near the fence at the track, and he makes the play. And with the shallow fence, Chase Bailey robs a game-winning home run and sends him down for the final out of the inning. So the Black Bears can certainly get a sigh of relief right there. One run on one big hit. A home run over to left center field. And no errors, one left aboard. Bottom six coming up. Black Bears 2, Bells 1, and Cal's looking to add some runs on your home for Black Bears baseball, YouTube and KEDO. Bottom six now. Black Bears bat's going to have to start to get going here. So the Bells have only 2 hits, but have scored a run to cut the Black Bear lead in half. It's a 2-1 Black Bears score on the Bellingham Bells. Brock Mortensen to step up. He's 0 for 2. Popped the ball up a few times. Virtually no wind currently, so let's see if we can get a hold of one to right for home run number 7. It's going to be Mortensen, Bailey, and Weber, all big-time power bats against the fastball-heavy Trevin Hope. And the first one from the tall righty is low and outside, 1-0. So the Black Bears leading, but something tells me it's going to take more than 2 runs to win this ball game today. This is a game that the Black Bears absolutely have to win if they want to come around and keep pushing to the playoffs. And it looks like Bennett Lee is having a bit of an equipment issue here with his glove. Maybe something went loose. And yeah, the last position where you really want a loose glove is over as a catcher. So now a quick toss. He's going to switch gloves back there. So that one's all put together. So now we'll be set to go as he's going to make his home back behind home plate. Some more updates here around the league on the out-of-town scoreboard. The Corvallis Knights hold their 5-4 lead, looking to add more in the bottom of the 7th on the Bend Elks. So 1-0 is downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes to Mortensen. Portland still lead Port Angeles 2-0. That's in the top of the 6th inning. And in the bottom of the 5th, Ridgefield lead Walla Walla at Borleski Stadium as a big swing and a miss by Mortensen. Yeah, he was looking for homer number 7 on that swing. Count now 2-1. I've talked about it a lot, but a really strange evening at David Story. Usually the wind really blowing in from left center. Nothing right now as Mortensen swings at the change, and the count now 2-2. So Mortensen using Wilson Weber's bat with the bright orange barrel. The 2-2 is swung on, cranked, but foul. Shane McCarroll, I'm not going to knock him for that one. He probably would have hurt himself if he tried to make a play on that baseball. Usually I'd say something, but nah, that's a little difficult. I wouldn't try to get it. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's dropped, but the tag applied by Lee. And Mortensen now down for the 3rd time in a row today. For out number 1, here comes Jace Bailey. Bailey is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout looking, and because of that short porch in left, robbed a game-tying home run to conclude the last inning. He's been great in left and better at the plate, so he'll try to extend his 3-game hitting streak here. First one is chopped foul over on the left side and will bounce off of the netting, so the count 0-1 has that in front of the bleachers. The lights on at David Story Field, but the sun just beginning to set here. Again, quick baseball play to David Story, 0-1, and Bailey fouls one off again, this time right into the box. And he falls behind 0-2 as Trevin Hope has come in and really just fired strikes. 22 of 27 pitches have been over the plate. So hopefully the Black Bears can start to turn on a couple of those. As they try to extend the 2-1 lead. The 0-2 is spiked down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And looking out, looks like the Black Bears will turn back to Dent for the next inning, so probably 2 from Dent. So 1-2 is down and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're just trying to think of who's available for the Black Bears. I think at this point they would go Dent, Parkin, or Hada Kanaka, and then right as the 2-2 is laced in the air over to right near the foul line, diving, and he can't come up with it. It's going to be a fair ball. Bailey's going to round second. He's going to try for third. He's all the way in the corner. He fires it in. And because Knight couldn't come up with that in right field, it is a 1-out triple for Jace Bailey. Now a man on third.
Yes, here we go.
And Wilson Weber to step up.
To the plate now for the Black Bears, catcher Wilson Weber.
So Jace Bailey now with his first triple of the season. And all they need is a fly ball from Weber, and that's something he does quite often. Webb 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. First pitch, check swing, but a strike anyway. 0-1 as now the Bells infield all have their toes in on the grass-colored turf. The 0-1 of Wilson is downstairs, gets away from Lee, but not far enough for Bailey, so he's going to stay over at third. A wise decision. Yeah, Wilson only hits 31.9% of batted balls on the ground. 30.4% on line drives, 13% pop-ups, and 24.6% true fly balls. So, fly ball guy up in a sac fly situation. 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. And now, really after I said that, Hope's been a little erratic here, missing off the plate a little bit. 2-1 coming up. Hope from the stretch. Got that slide step delivery. As a 2-1, Weber grounds one over to the shortstop Saunders. He's going to fire to first, so that's why he played the infield in. And it is a quick 6-3. And that'll put 2 down, and the infielders can move back to their regular positions.
The Black Bears
well, of course, I talk about Weber hitting the ball on the ground or in the air, and he ends up with 1 on the ground. Here's Sean Mulcair, 0 for 2 with a line drive out and a strikeout. Just need him to find some real estate in the outfield here with 2 down, and Jace Bailey waiting on third base. It's a 2-1 Black Bears lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Looking for more, though. So you can certainly use some insurance. Mulcair swings and misses at the change, and the count 0-1. Probably more of those to come from Hope in this at-bat. Collins had a chance to maybe bring Bailey in on a pitch that got away from Lee, but Bailey would have had to know that that's where that was going to end up out of Hope's hand. As now Mulcair hits one into very shallow left, coming in is Jernin, and he'll make the play as he puts him down for the final out of the inning. So the Black Bears strand Bailey on third, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Top of the 7th coming up, Black Bears 2, Bells 1, with the Bells coming to bat on your home for Black Bears Baseball, KEDO, and YouTube.
Fiber Family Wednesdays, got another one of those coming up tomorrow.
And the top of the 7th inning coming up. Black Bears lead it 2-1. Jake Dent on the mound, and Mickey Thompson's day officially done as base runner that he had on was stranded to end the last inning. So let's give you his final line. Thompson, another great start for Cowlitz as he goes 5 strong innings, allowing 1 run that was earned on 2 hits, 1 a solo home run, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts through 89 pitches, 64 for strikes. Or 64% for strikes. He threw 57 across the plate. As it's going to be Saunders, Corona, and Jernin all coming up. First one from Dent is high and outside. Want to know Saunders, a switch hitter, now batting left-handed against the right-handed throwing Jake Dent. And Ty was very successful against Thompson, going 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. Now the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Dent with the off-speed pitch gets Saunders out in front after the outside fastball, so perhaps a setup that time, or just Weber and Dent being opportunistic there. Well, they are a good battery. These combinations really starting to get to know each other as now another swing and a miss, and the count 1-2. Yeah, the Black Bears cycle their catchers so much, and everybody gets a chance to be a bullpen catcher as well, so the trio now duo of Cowlitz backstops really getting to know their staff. Is the 1-2 curveball up and away, 2-2. Dent tried to backdoor him there, but Saunders knew well enough to lay off that pitch. 2 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors, 6 left for the Black Bears. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 6 left for the Bells. Another curve, he got him, strike 3, and Saunders knew it. He was window shopping on that curveball and is kicked out of the store back to the dugout as there's 1 down in the top of the 7th inning. Actually, I just realized that analogy doesn't work because if you're window shopping, you are outside the store. You can't really window shop in the store unless you are shopping for windows. So maybe we'll go with that. So here comes Emilio Corona. He's 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded into a fielder's choice. First one from him is a curveball down and away. I want to know, it's game number 55. I wanted to try something new out there and not just go with the straight window shopping, although that is something I like to say. And I have been told that's Keegan Wright's favorite thing that I say on the air. And the 1-0 is hit high in the air over to center. Morrison is near the track. He'll camp under it and make the play for out number 2. Someone went a long way, but we know better to get excited about most of the high fly balls to center field here at David Story. So a strikeout and a flyout. Here's Daniel Jernin, who is now up for the 4th time. He has walked, grounded into a fielder's choice, and struck out today. Could be the last time Jernin's up today, as Dent fires the first curveball in for a strike going 1. And that's what we were talking about when we first entered the game. When he can pitch off that curveball, Dent's an entirely different pitcher. He is an elite reliever when he's able to save that fastball for later. So now another curve is high and tight. 1 ball and 1 strike, and that's not usually something you see from a relief pitcher. A lot of guys coming out of the pen, you want them throwing gas. Now, Dent does have a fast heater, but the breaking pitch easily is best one, as now this is a high chop over to short. Schwartz picks it up on a hop, fires across the diamond. The first, the throw, not in time, as Jernin able to take advantage of his speed and hitting the ball so high off the turf there. So now the 3rd hit of the game for Bellingham, and the Black Bears not out of the woods just yet. Here's Nick McLean. Now the tying run aboard, the go-ahead at the plate. McLean is 0 for 3. Ground out, a fly out, and a line out. So just needs a strikeout to complete the quartet of ways to get away. Done looking to pick that one up here for sure with 2 down. Big at bat for the Bells. Runner goes, pitches outside. Weber's throw, not in time as Schwartz couldn't get the tag in on him. So Jernin now with stolen base, I believe number 12 of the season. In scoring position. And the count 1-0. Now we'll double check that one for Jernin. I know he leads the team. And yes, it is stolen base number 12. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 down, Black Bears still up by 1. Dent delivers, swing and a miss at the curve. And the count 1-1. This is a huge at-bat for the Black Bears right now. Trying to keep McLean hitless. Steve Dent goes with that curve again. The 1-1 is the breaking ball. Missed inside the third, a second. Schwartz with the tag. Oh, they got him! Don't nap on Wilson Weber. So Weber with the rifle to second base. They catch Jernan off, and he is picked off to end the frame. No runs in the inning on one hit. No errors and nobody left aboard. It's stretch time here at David Story Field. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Black Bears 2, Bells 1 with your Cowlitz Black Bears coming to bat on your home for their baseball games. YouTube and KEDO. Bottom of the 7th inning, Schwartz, Nishida, Bozette, the entire infield for the Black Bears duo, minus Sam Brown. And all dangerous hitters coming up against Kai Francis, but first we will close the book on a great relief appearance by Trevin Hope. Hope went 3 shutout frames. He did get into a little trouble, allowing a couple of hits, and one of them a triple, but he was able to strand Jace Bailey over at third. And he also struck out 4 batters, 2 looking and 2 swinging. So now Kai Francis will take over for Bellingham. And again, 9-1-2 for the Black Bears, but essentially second leadoff man to Matthew Schwartz in that 9 spot.
We've got a pitching change for the
So Kai
from
from Bainbridge Island, Washington, headed to Gonzaga. 6'3", 175 pounds in his 2021 season, including non-league games, is 1-0 with a 2.52 ERA. This is now his 10th appearance. He's got to start in there. He's tossed 25 innings, 22 Ks, 5 walks, 14 hits. He's got a minuscule whip of just 0.81. Although he got beat up in his last outing against Portland. In 3 innings, he allowed 3 runs, all earned on 5 hits and 4 strikeouts. First pitch, and nice little fastball on the inside corner, 0-1. Now, you can kind of see after that pitch why he might get lit up a little bit from time to time, as that fastball is dead straight. And now breaking ball, check swing, but John Pullen says he went, so the count 0-2. Now, I'm not knocking Francis. It's a good fastball, but it's the kind of fastball that if it's in the wrong spot, it's a little bit easier for the guys to see. As now the 0-2 is another curve, but down and away to Schwartz. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Matthew Schwartz, the subject of the most recent On the Road with the Black Bears episode, is 1 for 2 today with a base hit and a strikeout. 1-2. He's down and away. Looked to get him to chase on that fastball or try to clip the corner, but did neither. As now Sawyer Parkin, as predicted, starting to warm up in the Black Bears pen. There's a 2-2. Curveball, he got him. Strike 3, and Schwartz knew it. And he's down looking for the second time today against 2 different pitchers. There's 1 down. Here's Riku Nishida.
Now go back to the top of the order for the Black Bears. Second baseman, Riku Nishida.
So Nishida with a pair of hits in today's game in 3 tries. Up in that average, because he was hitting 360 coming into the game. Now Riku has 4 consecutive games of multi-hits. So he takes a curveball strike inside, 0-1. So Riku is now 10 for his last 19 at the plate. The 0-1, squares around a bunt, pulls it back, and the pitch is a ball, 1-0. Nishida was trying to catch A.J. Davis sleeping over there at third base. Yeah, how about that for Nishida? I mean, he's had so many stretches like that, though. Well, now some words being said over from the Bellingham dugout over at John Pullen, but I think I was able to hear somebody on the Bells coaching staff saying that he was just talking to his catcher. 1-1 is high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nishida leads the Cowlitz Black Bears with 30 walks this season. That's including non-league games. Not driven to base on balls today, but right now is hit by a pitch. That's the 4th time that's happened to him this year, but hey, the Black Bears will take him on base any which way they can as long as he doesn't get hurt. So Riku certainly a candidate to try and come around and score here, as Brock Bozette is also a great guy to try to bring him in. So Bozette now with 36 RBI after a run-scoring single back in the first inning. He's 1 for 3. He's grounded out a few times. He's only pulled the ball today. Let's see if Nishida is able to get over to second base first. The first one to Bozette is a fastball strike, and the count 0-1. And the 0-1 they throw over, and it's not in time. So Nishida, a bit more of a shallow lead. There we go. There's the 12-foot lead we know him for. As the 0-1, they snap the throw over to first. The pitch is strike. So the count 0-2, but they're not in time. So an 0-2 count. They might send him here with likely a breaking pitch coming on in to Brock Bozette. Yeah, this is a good stolen base count here. As a strike him out, throw him out, unlikely with Nishida on the base paths. No balls, 2 strikes, another throw over, not in time. Nishida can read pitchers like a book over there. As soon as they start to make a little move, he's ready to dive right back to that bag, and that's why he's able to get such great jumps. He can take a massive lead. And he thinks about going. The pitch is low and away. Another throw over, and it's not in time yet again. A 1-2 to Bozette. And even if Nishida doesn't steal second here, he's already done his job over at first, as he's clearly in the heads of Francis and Lee. So Riku again with the big lead. Bozette chops one up the middle. Might be trouble for the Black Bears. Taken by Saunders. Steps on it alone for 1 back to first. And it's a double play to end the inning for the Black Bears. No runs on no hits. No errors. 1-hit batter. And nobody left aboard after the 6 unassisted 3 double play. It's now 2-1 heading into the top of the 8th. And Sawyer Parkin going to come on in to try to get a trio of outs against the Bellingham Bells right here on YouTube and KEDO. We're in the top of the 8th now. Black Bears clinging to a 1-run lead on the Bellingham Bells. Nick McLean, Bennett Lee, Luis Avila is coming up, so it's going to be a bit of a trial by fire here for Sawyer Parkin, as this will be his first home appearance for the Black Bears. He's headed to the University of Washington this fall, and he is from Vancouver, Washington. Has pitched well for the Black Bears. As now we'll close the book on Jake Dent, who did exactly what they asked him to do out of the pen. Dent went 2 scoreless frames on 1 hit, no walks, 1 strikeout, 23 pitches, 14 strikes. That's 60.9%. So Jake Dent did a nice job. And now over to Parkin. And interestingly here, we actually have a couple of Pac-12 guys, or incoming Pac-12 guys, out there on the mound, as Wilson Weber will be a freshman at Oregon State, and Sawyer Parkman will be a freshman at the University of Washington. So Parkin now making his 4th appearance for the Black Bears. He's 1-0 with a 6.75 ERA. First pitch is an electric fastball, but misses high and outside, 1-0. Parkin with a 6.75 ERA and 2 2/3 innings, struck out 2, allowed 3 hits. In his last outing, went a third of the inning against Wenatchee and allowed just 1 hit and 2 batters' faces. The 1-0 is splintered foul. The count 1-1. He made his debut against the Ridgefield Raptors and gave up an earned run in a third of an inning. And then against Wenatchee on August 7th, he pitched 2 frames, allowing 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 hits, and 2 Ks. He's got a nice 3-pitch mix. Fastball, curveball, changeup. Fastball sits at the low 90s as the 1-1. There's the fastball again, and it's fouled away, 1-2. Now, his curveball is a really nice pitch, but my favorite that Parkin throws is that changeup. It's such a speed disparity from that fastball, and the way that it drops down and gets a little bit of a break away from lefties, it's an excellent pitch. So let's see if he tries to do that against McLean here. Base is empty with nobody out, and there is a line drive over Nishida's head. That's going to go into right for a single. So leadoff base hit number 4 for the Bells, as now Bennett Lee will step up 1 for 3 with a fly out, a ground out, and a solo shot. He's the entire offense today for Bellingham. So we'll see how everybody else is doing around the league. Bend have made it interesting against Corvallis in the bottom of the 8th. They've tied it up at 5. Corvallis trying to take the lead at Goss Stadium. Portland lead at 2-0 in the top of the 7th at Civic Field over Port Angeles. And Ridgefield up 6-4 on Walla Walla. That's in the top of the 7th inning. Parkin looking for a ground ball and goes with the curve outside, but just missed off the plate, 1-0. And Keegan Wright already starting to get ready in the pen for the Black Bears. Again, he's going to assume that closer role. McLean with a shallow lead off the bag at first. That's good news for the Black Bears. I mean, he's probably not going to break for second. 1-0 is hit in the air over to deep right. Going back on into Stinson near the track, and that's going to drop in for a fair ball. Wow, all right, that went to the side of the bag. Quick cutoff throw. Nishida going to throw to third. They look for the tag, not in time. But it's a no-out double for Bennett Lee, and the Black Bears are in some trouble here. 2 in scoring position with nobody out in the top of the 8th inning. It's now Wright getting ready in a hurry, and Parkin's going to need a strikeout here. Aviles is 0 for 2 today, though. He struck out, flied out, and walked, as Brian Burr's communicating something to Corey Kier. Now he's going to call time, and they're going to have a discussion with Parkin. Now Parkin's got some great stuff, as you saw, but fastball caught a little too much plate there. And he's really definitely going to need at least 1 strikeout in there against Aviles, Davis, or Lambeau. Probably 2. With the infield in, you don't want to risk that contact that gets beyond him in such a close ball game. The Black Bears lead it by 1. It's a 2-1 game. 2 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors, 6 left for the Black Bears. For Bellingham, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors, and 6 left aboard, as Bennett Lee has really killed them today. A couple of extra base hits. 1 is solo home run, and now 1 a double. That's really set them up in a good position to score some runs. We'll take a look at Bellingham's numbers today, though. And they are 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position, but now they'll have 3 shots at it with 2 on and nobody out, and their cleanup hitter at the plate in Aviles. And Aviles 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a flyout, and a walk. Infield in for the Black Bears, trying to cut off that run at home, as Parkin's first pitch is popped up in the air over to right. This might bring in a run, though. Stinson's got a rifle. Comes in, loses sight of the baseball, and that's going to fall about 20 feet away. McLean scores. Lee's going to stop right there. It's an RBI double, and Jacob Stinson just lost that in the lights. And it's all tied up by a score of 2-2. Now the Black Bears just fortunate that Lee did not come in to score there. So Stinson just couldn't see it.
A.J. Davis.
So here comes A.J. Davis to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Stroke of bad luck for the Black Bears that time. It's starting to become a little bit more of a twilight sky here. Sometimes when the ball gets above the lights, it is tricky for an outfielder to see, but a rare mistake by Stinson there. So the infield will stay in. Parkin delivers. That's a fastball strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Cowlitz really can't afford to allow any more runs across. Two-two ball game. It's the 0-1. Is hit in the air at foul territory over on the right side. Brown and Nishida hustling over. Brown loses cap and makes the play right there against the fence. Wow, what an effort by Sam Brown. Well, we know he can hit it, and now we know he can glove it. A huge out here in the top of the 8th. And that'll put one away. And here's Alex Lambo. Lambo 0 for 3, reach on an error, ground out, and flied out. Infield's got to stay in for the Black Bears, though. And Parkin's first pitch, fastball swing and a miss. Too much for Lambo, 0-1. So Sawyer's coming and giving up a run. It's going to be earned, although it's a little tricky because it was a mental error out there by Stinson out there and right. And Aviles on second, Lee on third. Next one from Parkin, another swing and a miss. Got him with back-to-back upstairs fastballs. And now an 0-2 count. Parkin looking for his first K, and a strikeout would be enormous right here. As the Black Bears try to keep this a tie ball game. And the 0-2. Elevated the fastball a little more. This time Lambo able to watch it the whole way. So you can see what they were trying to do there. They're climbing the ladder with the heater, and again, Parkin does throw hard, especially for the kid that just graduated high school. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. See if Parkin trusts the heater. He goes for the breaking ball, and he gets a pop-up to shallow right, actually in the infield. Nishida is right there, and he'll put him down. There's 2 away. So the Black Bears can set out a mild sigh of relief as now they can push the infielders back, and they're not walking on eggshells, but still a tough spot with 2 in scoring position. And here's Malachi Knight. He's 0 for 3, pair of flyouts and a strikeout. Parkin pitches exclusively from the stretch. And he deals. Curveball, a lot of bite, but missed down and away, 1-0. Parkin is now throwing 14 pitches, 10 for strikes. And Richfield's starting to pull away against Walla Walla. It's now 8-2 in the top of the 7th inning, although the Black Bears just needed them to lose 1 game out there. It's 1-0. Fastball, there's a strike on the outside corner. 1-1. And you can certainly see what the University of Washington see in this young man. He's got some serious stuff. Hot fastball and 2 great secondary pitches. 1-1. Curve, again, breaks a little too far. 2 balls in the strike now. On deck, Ty Saunders, a switch hitter. Gonna hit left-hander against Sawyer. But the Black Bears hoping he doesn't get up, and Saunders comes up against Keegan Wright in the 9th instead. As the 2-1 is popped up on the right end, and that'll go out of play. So now Parkin with a lot of pitches he can play with, 2-2. Now, he fouled away an off-speed pitch, so you could change speeds here. Go with the upstairs heater, or you could try to get him to look for another off-speed outside. Let's see what he does here. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's the curve and misses away, and now the count full to Malachi Knight. Now, a gimme fastball strike, not a given here. First base is open with the 8-batter on deck. Parkin shakes off, pair of signs, he's good to go. Big pitch here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 in scoring position, and he deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sawyer Parkin with a huge strikeout, and he'll keep it a tie ball game. But that strikeout comes after the Bellingham Bells score 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, 2 aboard. We're all tied up at 2 in the bottom of the 8th. Black Bears looking to take the lead here on your home for Cowlitz Black Bears Baseball, YouTube and KEDO. Now the bottom of the 8th, the Black Bears with a great trio of guys to come up and try to break this 2-2 tie. Stinson, Brown, and Mortensen against another inning from Kai Francis after Luis Aviles hit an RBI double over to right, and it was Jacob Stinson who could not go and grab that baseball on right, although he did just lose track of it. Run probably would have scored anyway, though if he caught it on a sac fly. It was pretty deep, so no harm, no foul, but he'll look to make up for it anyway. He's 1 for 3 today. He's hit the ball well. A couple of line outs and also a base hit for him. 3 straight lefties against the right-handed thrower in Francis, so the Black Bears do have the platoon advantage and a chance to string some hits together.
Cowlitz Black Bears in the bottom of the 8th. Number 18, right fielder Jacob Stinson.
Bottom of the 8th, huge inning for the Black Bears. What already feels like a playoff game. They're 1 game out of a spot with 3 to go. First pitch to Stinson is a ball, 1-0. So now we got everything fixed up. The scoreboard back to saying the score. 2-2, and I'd said 3-2, but the Black Bears lead it. And there's a sharp grounder on the right side, a slashing stop made by Aviles, but it was foul. So 1-1 coming up to Stinson. Cowlitz have not scored since the bottom of the 1st inning where they got RBIs by Brown and Bozette. Now Stinson looking to get things started here. Big on-base guy for this team as the 1-1 is high and away. 2 balls and a strike. Coming into this contest, including non-league games, Stinson had an on-base of 407 and a slugging of 441. Also an expected on-base of 441. 2-1 is sliced away, 2-2. Important game here for the Black Bears today. They got to get a win, as ideally they sweep this series. That gives them the best shot to get into the playoffs. But now in a tight game. 2-2. Bats got to get going. So next offering, Stinson pops it up over to right. Looks like they're having trouble seeing the ball too, though. Knight comes in, but he makes the grab. And Stinson is down for out number 1. Now drifting back was Lambo, and he could not see that ball.
Sam Brown.
And Sam Brown will step on up. He already has a couple signature Black Bear moments. Let's see if he can get another one. Brown is 1 for 2. Single, walk, and a strikeout. First pitch is grounded over to the second baseman. Back behind him is Lambo. Fires to first, but it's offline, and Sam Brown's going to reach base. So that's the first error of the game for the Bellingham Bells. Comes at a great time for Cowlitz. Now they have a man aboard. That's the go-ahead run. Here's Brock Mortensen, Mr. Extra Base Hit. He's got 12 on the season. And the first one to Morty is a strike, and the umpires that paid admission to today's contest not too happy about it. And the count 0-1. As the temperature starts to cool down, the Black Bears bats hopefully will heat up here in the bottom of the 8th with one down in a 2-2 tie ball game. Next one to Mortensen is fouled. And the count 0-2. They do have Jace Bailey on deck, who's been hitting very well for this team. He had a triple in his last plate appearance. And that was able to get him up to a 4-game hitting streak. That's the longest that he's had this season. And the 0-2. Mortensen watches the fastball go right by on 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now, given everything about these two teams, the score shouldn't be too surprising. Two of the best staffs in the West Coast League. Bells with a 3.13 ERA coming into the game. It's 1-2, breaking ball, and crossed the plate high. It actually probably crossed around the letters of Mortensen, then dropped down near the belts at the end, but was still a little too far up there. So an easier count for Mortensen to work with. Francis perhaps going back to the fastball here, 2-2. And no, goes curve again after he missed badly with it the previous time. And Mortensen, after being behind 0-2, has now filled the count up. Walk helps the Black Bears here as it puts the go-ahead run in scoring position. Keegan Wright already hot out there in the bullpen. He's ready to come in and nail this one down if his team can give him the lead. 3 balls, 2 strikes. They deal. Mortensen swing and a missed strike 3. A good curveball by Francis will send him down swinging for out number 2. So Francis now has a couple of Ks, and it's going to be up to Jace Bailey.
12, Jace Bailey.
1 for 3. He's grounded out, struck out looking, and ripped a triple. Just a regular old double will get the job done. Brown on first base. Bailey a power bat. They're setting up down and away from him as the first pitch is fouled away. And the count 0-1. Low scoring affair between these two squads. Mickey Thompson looked good through 5. Jake Dent was great following him up with 2 scoreless frames. And then Sawyer Parkin did allow a bunch of hits, 3 hits in the inning, and somebody came in. But Parkin ultimately just able to leave it at just the 1 run. So props to him for that as Bailey fouls one near his own on-deck circle, and he's in a hole now 0-2. Man on first is Sam Brown. He reached on an error by the second baseman, Alex Lambo. And for the Bells, it's going to be Saunders, Corona, and Jernin all due up to the plate in the top of the 9th. 0-2. Lee sits up, down and away, and Bailey lines one right at Saunders, who drifts over and is able to make a nice play on the ball to put him away for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left aboard. Top of the 9th coming up. Keegan Wright looking to try to keep it a tie ball game. Again, Saunders, Corona, and Jernin due up in a 2-2 game, and we'll be back right after this on YouTube and KDO. All right, the Black Bears go to their newly christened closer, Keegan Wright, in this tight spot. 2-2 tie ball game here in the top of the 9th inning. And Ryder will go up against Saunders, Corona, and Jernan. So the day is done for Sawyer Parkin. Parkin went an inning of work and surrendered 1 run. It was earned on 3 hits and 1 strikeout. Parkin through 19 pitches, 13 strikes. That is 68.4% for him. So now they'll turn things over to Keegan, who has been one of the best relief pitchers in the entire West Coast League. I'll give you numbers on him in a moment. Things not loading up right now. Keegan with a nice 3-pitch mix, a fastball in the upper 80s, a slider, and a changeup out of San Diego Christian College. And now Brown, Weber, and Wright just finish up a quick deliberation, and we're about to be ready to go. Keegan, including non-league games, making his 24th appearance. That is first on the team. He's 3-0 with a 1.78 ERA, 1 save, a mark of 25 1/3 innings pitched, 29 Ks, 14 walks, and a whip of 1.30 when a scoreless inning against Wenatchee his last time out. First pitch fastball, high and away, 1-0. Wright is not allowed a run since July 27th against Yakima Valley, went 2/3 of an inning, surrendered an earned run on 2 hits and 1 strikeout. Actually picked up the win against Ridgefield on August 3rd for 2 scoreless innings of work, as he now gets a swing and a miss here, 1-1. Saunders 1 for 2. He's got a single, a walk, and a looking strikeout. Black Bears have now sent out 3 consecutive right-handers out of their bullpen. After the southpaw, Mickey Thompson gave him 5. It's 1-1. And that's in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Keegan right now, he's really been the workhorse out of the bullpen for the Black Bears. And I believe with this appearance now, he's tied for the league lead in appearances with Joseph Sinclair on the lefties. It's now Wright misses high and outside, 3-1. Not the count that he's looking for here. He's going to have to bounce back. Does not want to put the go-ahead run on base to lead off the inning. As now the 3-1 is swung on a miss. Goes with the change there. Had a good feel for it and fills the count up 3-2. And in full counts this season, Keegan Wright has thrown a strike 62.5% of the time. Payoff. And he does it again. Strike 3. Keegan Wright with a good-looking fastball off the edge, battles back and gets Saunders down swinging for out number 1. So Emilio Corona going to come on up now. He's 1 for 3 with a strikeout, a fielder's choice, and a long fly out over to left center field. And Keegan also a big-time strike thrower for this team. Throws 63.1% of his pitches across the plate. So if he does fall behind in counts, he will work his way back in. It's the first offering. Curveball hit high in the air over into left center field. Mortensen going back on it towards the track near the wall. That's going to go off the wall. Mortensen comes up firing. He's going to rifle it in. It's a 1-out double for Emilio Corona. And the Bellingham Bells ring one loudly that time. They have a man in scoring position with just 1 away. Now we're talking about Corona at the beginning of the ball game. He's the guy to watch. And Corona with another big-time hit for this Bell squad. So now Cowlitz in some dire straits here. Corona with his 15th double. Here's Daniel Jernan, 1 for 3 with a strikeout, fielder choice walk, and a single. The Black Bears have to strand Corona on second base. And Wright's first offering. Fastball misses up, 1-0. Wright has now thrown 8 pitches, 4 for strikes. Would be tough going. Black Bears have to pick this one up. San Diego Christian College right-hander winds, fires. This is hit in the air and fouled on the right side. 1-1. And this is even more important, especially given the other scores around the league. Portland lead Port Angeles 6-0 in the top of the 7th, and Ridgefield up 8-3 in the top of the 8th against Walla Walla. Ben and Corvallis, though, headed to extras. It's 5-5 in the top of the 10th. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down, man on second base. Up is Jernan. He delivers a slider, checked his swing. Did he go? I think he almost certainly did. No, they say he didn't. Two, 1. We got Bob laughing here over to my left. I don't know. Oh, as I like to say, the umpires are closer to the play than I am. So they see it better than me. Jordan perhaps did not break his wrist as he certainly did that time as he fouls one away, and the count even at 2-2. So now Wright has got the count that he's looking for. He's got 2 strikes up there. Wright is a strikeout guy. He's got 30 and 25 2/3 innings pitched. More than a strikeout per 9. Could use another one here on Jordan. He has been punched out in this game already. And the 2-2. Slider popped up over on the right side. Brown with a much easier play on the ball this time. Doesn't have to lean over. And he uses the wall to keep himself steady. And there's now 2 away in the top of the 9th inning. So now Nick McLean steps up. He is 1 for 4. He's grounded out, flied out, lined out, and singled. And he's hit it to the right side twice, and he's hit it to the left side twice. Wright just trying to strand Corona over there on second base. He had a 1-out double to the wall. And right now he represents the go-ahead run. First pitch is just off the plate outside, 1-0. Black Bears hoping that they can leave Bennett Lee in the on-deck circle here. Top 9, 2 down, 2-2 tie game. Both teams with 2 runs on 7 hits. Right, double takes over back to Corona on second, delivers the 1-0, and that's upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. 14 pitches from Keegan. And 7 for strikes. He's been a little iffy here, but has been able to get 2 outs with just 1 hit against him. Keegan was pumped up before today's game, ready to take on that closer spot. Well, now here he is. And we'll see what he's got in another high leverage situation. 2-0 is fouled off of Weber's mask, and Wilson seems to be okay. But just in case John Poland going to go out and flip the ball over to right, but Weber joined him, so seems to be just okay. I was going to say just dandy, but I don't think anybody is dandy after getting hit in the face mask with the foul ball. So he's as good as he can be after that. 2 balls, 1 strike, man on second in this 2-2 tie ball game. Black Bears looking to hold this score over into the bottom of the 9th for a walk-off opportunity. And the 2-1, swing and a miss. And the count now even at 2-2. Black Bears pitching today has recorded 8 strikeouts against Bellingham, a team that strikes out 10 times a game. Let's see if they can bring them closer to their average. Big pitch from Keegan Wright. He's got Corona on second. Tie ball game. And McLean at the plate. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Wright kicks. He fires. And did he go? No. And I don't have to tell you about the fan reaction to that one. So now a full count. But the last time Wright had a full count here against the Bells, he did get the K anyway. See if we can get another one. An even bigger pitch now. And the payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He got him. Keegan Wright comes up huge in this inning with 2 big Ks. He does allow a double, but they strand him at second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left aboard. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The Black Bears with a chance to walk it off. It's going to be Weber. It's going to be Mulcair. It's going to be Schwartz. And it's going to be you watching it all happen or listening on YouTube and KEDO in this 2-2 tie. We'll be right back. Here we go. Black Bears looking for walk-off number 3 on the season. Matty Fung's on that list. Jaden Shepard's on that list. Who will be the next one? Wilson Weber, Sean Mulcair, and Matthew Schwartz, the first 2 up against a new arm. It's going to be Greg Blackman of the Bellingham Bells. So that means that the day is done for Kai Francis. Francis goes 2 scoreless innings and did not allow a hit or a walk. He did hit a batter, though, and allowed somebody to reach on an error. That was Sam Brown. And it was Nishida that he hit. So he struck out 2, and he threw 28 pitches, 17 strikes at 60.7%, as now Bellingham will give it over to another right-handed pitcher. So Blackman now making his 12th appearance of the year. He is a closer, one of the closers for the Bells. 0-1, a 1.77 ERA. He's got 20 in the 3rd innings pitched, 3 saves, 25 strikeouts, 10 walks, 8 hits. He's got a whip of .89, and the last time out there, in August 4th against Portland, he went an inning of scoreless ball, striking 1 out. Well, here's the future Beaver. Wilson Weber steps on up, 0 for 3, flyout, and a pair of groundouts. First pitch from Blackman, look out, that's up and in. And the count 1-0. Well, definitely not on purpose. You don't enter a 2-2 ball game with the game on the line and aim at somebody. That's just not how it works. And now the 1-0 is right down Main Street for a strike. 1-1. Blackman did allow a run fairly recently, though. It's against Corvallis. He allowed a run on a 1 hit and 2 walks. 1-1. Weber swing and a miss. Nice looking slider there from Blackman. It looked almost identical to his fastball until the very end. So now 1-2 coming up to Wilson. Sean Mulcair lefty on deck. That'll give him the platoon advantage. Let's see if Weber's going to be able to lay off another slider as a 1-2, and he does. Showing some maturity at the plate for the recent high school graduate. And that's something that Weber's gotten better and better at all year long. At the beginning of the year, if you threw him a slider, he was swinging. And now he's able to read it, especially if it's the second time in the same at-bat. 2-2, nobody on, nobody out. And Weber, oh, they got him, strike 3. Blackman threads the needle up and outside, and Wilson down looking for the first out of the inning. So now Sean Mulcair will step up. He is 0 for 3. He's got a line out, a strikeout, and a flyout. It does seem like a good time to remind you that Sean Mulcair does have a home run this year. That came against Ridgefield, though, in the first game of the season. First one to Mulcair is driven in the air, but fouled over on the left side. That'll go way out of play. And the count 0-1. Well, Cal's certainly trying to avoid extra innings. And they've been in extras 5 times and won 3 of them. But want to save on their bullpen. Again, all hands on deck here in the playoff stretch, and the count 1-1 after that missed away. Black Bears certainly need a victory today, especially given the way the other games are going out in the West Coast League, as Portland and Ridgefield are ahead, and Corvallis and Bend are now wrapped up in a 5-5 tie in the bottom of the 10th. Now the next one missed way high and outside to Mulcair, 2-1. Yeah, let's get some more specifics on that Corvallis game. So the Knights with a good chance to win. They have 2 on, both in scoring position, and Knight up at the plate. So the Black Bears can get one of their wishes today as the 2-1 swing and a miss. At the upstairs off speed, 2-2 to Mulcair. Matthew Schwartz and then Riku Nishida wait on deck. 2 guys that are on base all the time for this team. Hoping to get up, though, with fewer than 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Deals. Mulcair swing and a miss. Another great slider from Blackman. And back-to-back Ks. Here's how we start off this bottom of the 9th. Here's Matthew Schwartz. Well, Schwartz has had a tremendous season for Cowlitz. He has 3 home runs.
Matthew Schwartz.
But all of them have come on the road. Let's even get one at home here. No wind at David Story here tonight. He's 1 for 3, and the slider misses down and in, 1-0. Blackman, 11 pitches, 6 strikes. And Schwartz has power to that pole side. That short porch and left calling his name. The 1-0 is up and in, 2-0. Of course, a walk wouldn't be so bad, especially with Nishida coming up. He knows how to find his way aboard. It's a 2-2 tie ball game in the bottom of the ninth. 2 away. 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, 9 left for Bellingham. 2 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors. And 7 left aboard for the Black Bears as Schwartz takes another one off. And the count now 3 balls and no strikes to the right-handed hitting shortstop. Blackman deals up and in, ball 4, and there's your go-ahead winning run. He's on first. If you ask me who's on first, I'm saying Schwartz.
That'll bring up the Black Bears, second baseman.
Well, here's the man of the hour, Riku Nishida. Nishida, 2 hits in 3 at-bats. He's got 2 singles, a ground out. He's also been hit by a pitch. Scored once and stolen a bag. And Riku's got sneaky power. Watch out. He can really lace one to the gap if he tries. First one to Riku is upstairs, 1-0. And in Yakima, they have a 408-foot distance between home and center field, and he knocked one right off the wall there. And it looked effortless, just like most of his other parts of the game. And now Blackman really struggling with his relationship with the strike zone. Misses high and outside, 2-0 to Riku, and that's going to prompt Bennett Lee to go out and talk to him. So we'll look again at the other scores. Ridgefield 8, Walla Walla 3. That's in the bottom of the 8th at Borleski. At Civic Field, 6 for Portland, none for the lefties. That's the bottom of the 8th. Wenatchee trail Yakima Valley 6-4. Yakima County Stadium in the top of the 9th inning. And with the bases loaded and nobody out, the Corvallis Knights are tied at 5 in the bottom of the 10th against Bend. The Black Bears need them to win that game. First pitch to our next one in Nishida is high and away, 3-0 with the leading RBI guy for the Black Bears, Brock Bozette, on deck. Schwartz on first, the 3-0. There's a strike. And the count 3-1 just cost the outside edge of the plate. Riku with some of the best back control that you'll see really at any level. He commands the strike zone like no one else. It's the 3-1. Way outside, ball 4, back-to-back 2-out walks, and now the winning run in scoring position. Here's Brock Bozette. That's going to prompt a Jim Clem meeting, pitching coach for the Bells, as his closer having a bit of a rough go of it here. He's got 2 on with 2 down. He got back-to-back strikeouts, now back-to-back walks. Brock Bozette, certainly a guy that the Black Bears would love to have up in this situation. Well, in the meantime, we do have a final, so some good news for the Black Bears. The Bend Elks lose by a score of 6-5 and 10. So now the Bend Elks are 24-22. The Black Bears can work a tie if they can get a walk-off of their own in this game. And with the winning play, it was Nick Vogt. And it looked like it was a sacrifice fly to center. Yep, so Vogt helps them win the game and helps the Cowlitz Black Bears. So again, final score, Corvallis 6, Bend 5. And the Black Bears can tie everything up with Bend if they win one right here. 2 down, bottom of the 9th. Here's Bozette against Blackman. First pitch, up and in, 1-0. Bozette has 36 RBI this season. Far and away the best on the team. Next one from Blackman. Down and away, 2-0. Bozette's got 7 extra base hits, 5 doubles, 2 home runs. He has 26 singles as well. And he's hitting .234 with runners in scoring position, but leads the team with 15 hits in those spots. 2-0. There's a strike as Bozette was just waiting for one before now getting the green light. It's a gorgeous night here in Cowlitz as they look for their 3rd walk-off hit of the season. 2-1, 2 down, 2 on, a deal, and there's a strike at the knees. That's that Blackman slider. And now the deuce is wild. Bozette, one of the more mentally tough players on this team, a guy that's suited for this situation. He's got 2 speedsters on the base path, just needs a single. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, he deals and bounces one foul, so we'll do it all over again. High drama entering the game, high drama here in the bottom of the 9th. Black Bears a game out of a playoff spot with 3 left to go. They absolutely need this one against Bellingham. It feels like the playoffs right now at David Story Field. The fans behind Bozette here. Let's see if he can get a bat on the baseball. The 2-2. Oh, he got him. Strike 3. Slider on the inside corner. Free baseball coming up as Bozette's down looking. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left to board. Top of the 10th coming up with the Bells coming to bat against Keegan Wright and company. It's going to be Lee, Aviles, and Davis right after this on YouTube and KDO. Keegan Wright back out there for another inning of work. In his last frame, punched down a couple of Bells, also allowed a double, but stranded him after getting back-to-back outs, a pop-out and a strikeout. But now going to face off against the toughest part of the Bells order. Lee, Aviles, Davis, all due up. We're tied at 2. Free baseball here on YouTube and KDO. And Wright looking for another inning of scoreless baseball here today. Last time Keegan went 2 frames, though, he did go both scoreless, and that was against Ridgefield, the best offense in the league. The Bell's about middle of the pack here, so let's see if he can handle this situation in the 10th inning and put himself in line for his 4th win of the year. But first, he's got to get around Bennett Lee, who's 2 for 4. Gonna be tough. Lee is 2 for 4, but in his last 2 at-bats, 2 for 2 with a solo home run and a double. See what he's got against Keegan. Wright kicks, delivers, and line. Oh, it's stopped by Wright. It's down on the ground. He picks it up, fires to first, and Brown, he completes the play. 1 away in the top of the 10th. Yeah, they make you sweat, don't they? But hey, an out's an out's an out. So that'll wake anybody up at the ballpark that wasn't already. As Luis Aviles steps up, 1 for 3. Walk, double, fly-out, strikeout. But again, in his last 2 trips, he has reached twice in a row with the double and the walk. Aviles also tied the game back up in the 8th, as the first one to him is the slider from Wright, but missed high, 0-1. The Black Bears will have up Jacob Stinson, Sam Brown, and Brock Mortensen. All lefties, presumably against Blackman, who is right-handed. 1-0 is cranked to third. Bozette's got it. Fields it on a hop, fires on a line, and there it is, 2 away. Bozette with a little extra zip on that one, just for insurance. Of course, he struck out in the last inning, but he's still got that monster glove over there, I'll tell you. Now A.J. Davis up. He's 0 for 4. He's reached on an error and popped up twice to Sam Brown. Also struck out looking against Mickey Thompson. 3rd consecutive righty this inning against Wright, who delivers. And this is popped in the air. Very shallow right field. Brown going back, twists, and he makes the play! Sam Brown doing the twist over there behind the first base bag. A quick 1-2-3 inning for the Black Bears. That's the momentum they need as we go to the bottom of the 10th. Black Bears 2, Bells 2. Cowlitz coming to bat with Stinson, Brown, and Mortensen right after this on YouTube and KDO. So one thing has gone the Black Bears' way today. It is the Bend loss to the Corvallis Knights. Right now, Ridgefield ahead of Walla Walla and Portland ahead of Port Angeles. That only hurts the Black Bears if they don't pull it off today. But they got a great chance right now. Bottom of the 10th, 2-2 tie. Greg Blackman on the mound against Stinson, Brown, Mortensen. And yes, that is the 3-4-5 spot in their order. So let's see if they can get it done. This part of the order today for the Black Bears are a collective 2 for 11. With a walk also drawn by Brown, and Brown also reached on an error. So Brown's really been on base 3 times in 4 tries. Stinson 1 for 4 with a single. Couple of lineouts. First pitch is up and away, 1-0. Some slight gusts coming in, but not too much here. Jacob Stinson hit his first home run of the season back on Sunday. That was the first home run he hit since he was 12 years old. A 3-run shot to right. 1-0. Down and in, 2-0, as Blackman did show signs of being a bit erratic. He had two out walks before striking out the side. Now another arm warming up for the Bells in the bullpen. 2-0. 2-1, fastball strike on the outside corner. Cowlitz Black Bears like to thank their sponsors at State Farm of Longview. Bob Beal and Scott Fisher got your back. You can contact them at 360-425-5432 as Stinson pops one foul. 2-2. That's Bob Beal's number. Scott Fisher, 360-432-9500. State Farm of Longview, proud sponsors of your Cowlitz Black Bears. So Stinney ahead 2-0, now even 2-2. Today's right fielder, and the next one is hit in the air and once again swatted foul on the left side, so he'll stay alive right here. Stinson, a high contact guy on this team. He comes into the game with a contact percentage of 81.6%. So that means he puts the ball in play that amount of time. 2-2 is cranked but foul, this time on the right end. So we'll once again have a 2-2 count. All big bats coming up for Cowlitz. And Brock Mortensen is due. Oh, I think Stinson might have broke his bat on that foul. So now I'll exchange that for a new piece of lumber. And Stinson back, he's good to go. He's got a new stick up there. See if that bat's got a little walk-off magic in it. Black Bears have 2 walk-offs this season. One a double by Matty Fung against Ridgefield. The other, Jaden Shepard, is the 2-2 slider, but off the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Jaden Shepard had the most recent one. Three balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, and the next one is Stinson. Is hit high and deep to left. That one's going back, way back near the track, and it's caught by Daniel Jernin. Stinson hit that one about 305 feet, needed to go one more, and there's one down, but Definitely a good sign for the Black Bears. After you see somebody hit that one off the pitcher, the next guy feels like he can do the same thing. And this is no knock on Stinson, but Sam Brown has a lot more power as he steps on up there. Brown is 1 for 3. He's walked, he's singled, he's struck out, and he's reached on an error. First one to Brown. High and away, 1-0. Blackman's now thrown 34 pitches, just 16 for strikes. He's under 50%. Base is empty with 1 down, 2-2 tie ball game in the bottom of the 10th. Next one to Brown is high and away. 2-0 as he's living outside against the cleanup man for the Black Bears. Brown, including his time at Portland, has 7 home runs at the University of Portland. It's 7 home runs in 2021. 2-0 is crushed but foul. Hooking over on the left side. It will end up in the LCC parking lot. So we'll now have a 2-1 count. Don't forget, after the final out, make sure you stay tuned on KADO and YouTube for your Cowlitz Black Bears post-game show brought to you by the Daily News. We'll wrap it up today, have a player interview, and get you ready for tomorrow's 6:35 contest against the Bells as Brown again wastes another one and evens it at 2-2, another souvenir baseball. And as a young fan makes some memories with that foul ball, let's see if Sam Brown can add a good one to the scrapbook here. Got to watch out for that Blackman slider. That's his 2-strike pitch, and it's a fastball that turns into a breaking ball at the last second. So there's this slider, and he grounds it up the middle. That's going to go through for a base hit. And the Black Bears now have the go-ahead man aboard for Brock Mortensen. Morty 0 for 4. Fly out, pop out, and a pair of strikeouts. He's due.
Right fielder Brock Mortensen.
And Mortensen hit a home run back in Wenatchee that I think's still in orbit. Around 104 miles an hour to right field there, as the first one to him is tapped foul. Sockstrom off immediately with the slider, and the count 0-1. And Mortensen can certainly expect to see a hefty diet of those sliders coming from Blackman here. Not trying to give him a good fastball to hit after Brown got one up the middle. 0-1. Another slider and another, this time swing and a foul ball into the glove of Lee, 0-2. But you can count on Mortensen to stay calm at the plate. We talked to him. You can catch any of the interviews we've done with him. Takes a deep breath between each time and treats each pitch like its own game. It's 0-2. Tried to backdoor the slider, but hung it high and away. Not much Mortensen could have done with it, except for take it. So a 1-2 coming on up. Cool as a cucumber. See if he can clutch one out for the Black Bears in a pivotal game in their playoff push. Man on first is Brown. The 1-2 is hit foul. So good thing for Mortensen. He's reading that slider as he saw one away, and then he was able to splinter that one over on the left side. Black Bears are 3-2 in extra inning games. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. Blackman looks in, kicks, delivers, fastball swing, and a miss, strike 3. And Mortensen is down on strikes for the second out of the inning. That'll send up Jace Bailey. Bailey 1 for 4. He's grounded out, struck out, tripled, and lined out.
The plate for the Black Bears, left fielder Jace Bailey.
Bailey's got the pop as well. From Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, 6'4", headed to the University of Utah, and he takes the slider in, just missed hitting him. 1-0. Wilson Weber. Another big bat waits on deck. Brown got a 1-out single to get aboard first. He's the go-ahead run as the next one to Bailey is upstairs, 2-0. So now a hitter's count, and Blackman has struggled after falling behind. Looks like every Black Bears fan that paid admission that got here before the game is still here. Love to see it. It's a 2-0 swing and a miss by Bailey. 2 balls and 1 strike to the future Utah Ute. And Bailey hit one a country mile in Wenatchee. So playing with a lot of confidence today. 2-1. Another swing and a miss as Blackman just blowing it by him. And now another 2-2 count. Black Bears have had men aboard in the bottom of the 9th and the bottom of the 10th now. Certainly have had their opportunities. I think the Black Bears are actually going to go back to right for the 11th if we get there. The 2-2 down and away. A great take by Bailey. Tough not to swing there as we got ourselves a full count. Black Bears 2, Bells 2. Bailey at the plate. Full count, Brown on first. Double wins the ball game. And Blackman, the 3-2, he got him. Strike 3, that slider again. And we are going to the 11th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. 2-2 tie ball game. Bells coming to bat in the top of the 11th. Keegan Wright back out to try to shut him down again right here on YouTube and KDO. Top 11, another 11-inning game for the Black Bears here this season. It's going to be Lambo Knight Saunders coming up. That is 6-7-8 against another frame from Keegan Wright. He's thrown 22 pitches, 14 for strikes. Allowed 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, and no walks from the San Diego Christian College right-hander. And the Cowlitz Black Bears have found themselves in an 11th inning or more 3 times this season, and they are 2-1 in those games. A 12-inning loss to Bend back on June 27th, that was in 12. A 4-3 win against Walla Walla in 15. That was on July 1st. And then 11-inning victory against Ridgefield. Matty Fung with the walk-off. This is grounded up the middle. Nishida going to slide over and make the grab. He fires over to first, but it's going to be late. But Nishida at least making a play out of it. It's a leadoff single for Lambo, who was 0 for 4. So that's the go-ahead run for Bellingham. And Malachi Knight steps up, and he's not a guy that hits the ball on the ground too often. He's got 2 air outs today, sandwiched between a pair of strikeouts. And now Liam Hadakanaka is starting to get loose in the Cowlitz pen. As Keegan's pitch count over at 23, they probably don't want him to get too high. Although they do have to win this one first, so they got to worry here. Hadakanaka, though, great out of the pen, mostly against the lefties. He'll probably come in to face Saunders, maybe flip him to the other side. Lambo's on first after a leadoff single. And Wright's first pitch is up and in, 1-0. So Wright goes to the first pitch fastball here. I'm really expecting to see some changeups. Trying to get a ground ball. 1-0 to the 7th batter in the order. There's a strike on the outside. That's the change. 1-1 coming up to Malachi. Cowlitz Black Bears will play the Bells tomorrow at 6:35 p.m. Come join the Black Bears in their race to the playoffs on a Fiber Family Wednesday right here at the ballpark. And that game's at 6:35 p.m. Catch all the action on YouTube, KDO, or buy tickets at CowlitzBlackBears.com. High chopper. Bozette falls down on the read. Schwartz got it. He's just going to float it to third. Not really much Bozette could have done about that anyway. Even if Bozette plays that perfectly, that ball's too deep for a throw, even to second. But now back-to-back base hits and the go-ahead in scoring position. for Ty Saunders, who's got a single, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Bellingham just 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position today. Right in a jam. Saunders is going to square around, and the first one from right is dropped in front of the plate. Weber's got to play at third. He makes it. Wilson Weber heads up, showing off the arm again, so the bunt for naught. It's a 2-5 on the putout, and there's 1 down here on the top of the 11th. Yeah, you got to love the talent of Wilson Weber. This kid's going places. He also had a pickoff at second base earlier.
To the plate for the Bells.
So now Emilio Corona, 1 for 4. Strikeout, fielder's choice, flyout, and double. He actually doubled against Keegan Wright the last time up. That was with 1 out as well, but nobody was on base. Another fly ball guy. Knight on second, Saunders on first, Wright delivers, ground ball to the shortstop. Schwartz on the backhand, fires to second for 1, over to first, it is a double play! Schwartz and the sheet out of Brown, and the Black Bears get out of it with no damage, no runs on 2 hits. No errors, 1 left aboard. Let's see if they can walk it off in the 11th. They got Weber, they got Mulcair, they got Schwartz, and we got you right here on YouTube and KDO. Stick around, it's a 2-2 ball game. Bottom of the 11th inning, new arm out there for Bellingham. It's going to be Carter Parcher, so that's it for Blackman, who bent but did not break through 2 innings and did not allow a run. 1 hit, 2 walks, but 5 Ks for him. The big killers were 3 looking, and 2 of them ended that innings of the 9th and 10th, respectively. Through 49 pitches, 26 strikes, is 53.1%. And Carter Parcher from Cal State Bakersfield hails from Linden, Washington, right-hander, 6'2", 170 pounds. He's 1-1 on the year. This is his 9th appearance, 15 innings, 11 Ks, 4 walks, 14 hits. He's got a 1.20 whip. Here's Weber, 0 for 4. First one to Wilson is outside, 1-0. Weber's flied out, grounded out again, and struck out looking. Can he turn things around? He's been great defensively with a pair of assists from that catcher spot. 1-0 is hit foul. 1-1. Now, the other day in Wenatchee, Wilson and somebody who's going to be his coach at Oregon State, well, team manager, and Shane McCarroll, they were just hitting fungos to the wall as Weber takes one high, 2-1, and Wilson, Shane was trying to hit it out. Wilson's like, give me that. Takes the bat, throws the ball in the air. Now, it was a fungo, but crushed the ball about 425 feet. As now he belts one again, 2-2. So if you're asking if Wilson Weber has power to end the game, the answer is a resounding yes. And his only home run of the season has come to right here at David Story, and there's no wind right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Parcher delivers, and Weber lines one right up the middle, and that's a leadoff single. So once again, the Black Bears with the man on now. In the 9th, they didn't get a man on until there was 2 outs. In the 10th, they didn't get a man on until there was 1 out. But now there's nobody out. And Wilson's got some speed over there at first. So here's Sean Mulcair. Let's see if Mulcair can break his 0 for 4 as well. Lined out, struck out, flied out, and struck out again. Lefty against the righty Parcher. And Parcher's last outing against Portland went 2 scoreless innings, allowed a hit and walk, 3 Ks, is not allowed to run since he took the loss in Yakima Valley on July 11th. And Mulcair squaring around to bunt. First pitch is a beauty down the first base line. He's hustling hard. Picked up by Parcher, fires to first. He's out, but Weber's on second, and the winning run is in scoring position for Matthew Schwartz. I actually really like that call there by Aaron Matthews and Brian Burris. That's a good move. Mulcair hasn't been hitting as well today, but he's a good bunter, and Matthew Schwartz is red hot at the plate. Schwartz probably the best number 9 hitter, consistent number 9 hitter in the league. Although he probably could move up in the order, but they love having him there as a second leadoff guy.
Shortstop, Matthew Schwartz.
So let's see if the LCC shortstop can walk it off on his college home turf. Weber with speed on second. Schwartz is 1 for 3. Walked his last time. And Parcher deals. Swung on, grounded over to short. Weber's got to stop. Dives back to the bag. Here's a throw over to first, and he's down. And it'll be up to Riku Nishida. And if you were to tell me, hey, Zach, who on the Black Bears in a big spot do you trust to get a base hit? Every single time I would tell you it's Riku Nishida.
To the plate for the Black Bears.
So he's who's up now. He's 2 for 3. Pair of singles, ground out, hit by pitch, and walk. He's been on base 4 times. See if he can do it once more to send us all home with a 3-2 Black Bears victory. And now they're going to intentionally walk Riku to send Bozette up again. Well, yeah, you can't blame Bellingham there. So Nishida going to trot on over to first. Here's Bozette. He's got another chance to try to win. Bozette struck out looking in the same exact spot his last time up in the 9th.
Brock Bozette.
Bozette not known for making the same mistake twice. Let's see who puts the bat on the baseball. 1 for 5 today. He's got an RBI single, 3 groundouts, and a looking strikeout. He does put the ball in play a lot, and he's got a hole on the right side with Lambeau trying to hold Weber a little closer. Ton of speed on the base paths for the Black Bears. All that really matters, though, is Weber on second base. 2 runs, 9 hits for both teams. 1 more hit wins it for the Black Bears. First pitch to Bozette, swing and a miss, 0-1, trying to make something happen. 2 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, and 2 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for the Black Bears. I've lost my left on base number. My scorecard is too big now. 0-1 with 2 down. Parcher delivers. Bozette chops it to third. Picked up on the backhand, but it's a foul ball. And now Brock down 0-2. Well, nobody's tossing in the bullpen. I think the Black Bears might just use Keegan Wright again if it gets there. Again, you got to play for today. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 men on. Bozette with a chance to play hero. Let's do it here in Longview. 0-2, spikes it down and away, and the runners will advance. It just got a little easier for the Black Bears. Let's see if they can take advantage. So now a single definitely will score Weber. And now a mound visit between Lee and Parcher. All right, let's go around the league real fast. Got another final, Yakima Valley, 7-6 on Wenatchee. Ridgefield trying to lock it down against Walla Walla. They're up 15-3 in the bottom of the 9th, so looking good for them. Portland up 7-0 in the bottom of the 9th against Port Angeles, so they're likely to wrap those up with wins. Black Bears have to win to keep pace. They will tie with Bend if they can pull this one off. 1-2. 2-2. Good take by Bozette. Brock getting signs of encouragement over from his dugout, from the Black Bears fans, and from you at home. Oh, yeah, we can hear you screaming at your TVs and radios. That's a little known fact in media. We can actually hear you. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on, both in scoring position. He deals. Bozette checked his swing, did not go, and the count runs full. And that was a definitive check swing. The wrist did not break. The bat head did not cross the plate. And first base is open. Let's see what Parcher wants to do here. Bozette is going to swing at anything close, especially since he was sent down looking the last time. 2 on, 2 down, chance to win the game. Parcher kicks, fires, low, ball 4. Nice frame attempt by Lee. So Bozette gets aboard. And here's Jacob Stinson. Parcher frustrated, slapping his thigh with his glove.
Load him up for right fielder, Jacob Stinson.
And Jacob Stinson looking to make something happen in front of his family. I know his dad's here. I don't know if his mom is as well. Tough to tell right now. As now Jim Clem is going to go talk directly to the umpire. Oh, he wanted to check on the number of mound visits. Okay. Yeah, that's really the first time we've ever seen that happen. Now, I wonder if Clem's doing this for the same reason that football coaches will call timeout before a kicker goes in, tries to belt a game-winning field goal. They might be trying to ice Jacob Stinson here. Although Stinson definitely tough to ice. He's 1 for 5 today, but he's one of the best hitters on this team, if not in this league. Now Sidney and Brown having a quick conversation, having a laugh, calming Stinson down. Oh, Parcher did walk the last batter. If he walks Stinson, the game's over. And he's thrown 13 pitches to 7 for strikes, so just on the tight wire there at 50-50. Bases loaded, 2 down. First one to Stinson is low, 1-0. Jacob Stinson has walked 20 times this year. He had a 3-run home run in his last game, his first since he was 12. Let's see if he can get a walk-off right now for the Black Bears. As the next one is a strike at the knees. Good fastball, 1-1. Stinson, a .220 hitter with runners in scoring position, 11 hits and 50 at-bats. Does have 9 walks in those spots, though. Walk just as good as a hit here. Right-hander from the extreme first base side of the rubber. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside, 2-1. Black Bears fans living and dying by every pitch here. Rally towels abound coming from the bottom right in the home plate club. Some of our season ticket holders there, they love to do that. And the 2-1. 3-1, the Black Bears a pitch away. Black Bears last scored back in the first where they put 2 on and then slowly but surely surrendered the lead. Stinson can afford to be patient here. We're in the 11th, 3-1, bases loaded, he deals. There's a strike and the count full. 3-2, Stinson's looking to hit the baseball. This is quite the baseball puzzler, though. What do? You want to swing at a close pitch, but you don't want to swing at ball 4. Weber on third, Nishida on second, Bozette on first. This is a dribbler, gonna be a tough play. Picked up by Davis, he fires to first, Stinson is safe. It's a walk-off, infield single for Jacob Stinson, their 3rd of the season, and the Black Bears still alive in the playoffs. They win it 3-2.
Your final score, the College Black
You
Bears
don't have to hit it the hardest, you don't have to hit it the farthest. Just have to have the speed. That's what Weber did as he takes a nice water bath. The 3rd walk-off of the year. He joins the list with Matty Fung and Jaden Shepard, and the Black Bears will stay alive in the West Coast League playoff race. Jacob Stinson almost certainly swings that ball 4. It doesn't matter. Rolls over it. Another multi-hit game for him. And he's able to bring in the winning run in dramatic fashion. Well, you know who we're talking to, and you're going to want to stick around to catch it. It's Keegan Wright is able to pick up the win. We would like to talk to Keegan Wright too, but I think you know who we're going with. Wright is now 4-0 on the season, and Parcher drops down to 1-2. The Black Bears take down the Bells. Catch them tomorrow at 6:35 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube and KDO. But first, you're going to want to stay tuned right here. Who doesn't want to hear from Jacob Stinson after that? And that's who we got for you. At the other side of this break, your Cal's Black Bears postgame show brought to you by the Daily News. We'll step aside a little bit of a longer break right here on your home for Black Bears baseball, YouTube and KDO.
Playoff run continues. Make sure you join us tomorrow.
Gotcha.
All right, hello and welcome to your Cowlitz Black Bears postgame show. I'm a little loud. Brought to you by the Daily News. To my left, another cure for the Black Bears. Their third walk-off of the season. This time it goes to my man, Jacob Stinson. How you doing, man, first and foremost?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good.
Now, I was talking to you, and I was up here. We see the last pitch. It's down and away. And at first, I'm like, oh, no, he swung at ball 4. Were you thinking the same thing?
Oh, yeah. That when I made the swing, I was like, oh, no, that's ball 4. And then I touched it, and it was like a swinging bunt. And I was like, oh, I got to bust my butt to get to first. I got a chance there. And I beat it by like a step or two. So.
Oh, yeah. As soon as the third baseman came in, I knew you had it. I'm like, Stinny's got the speed, right? Yeah. But you had a special name for the kind of hit that you just got when we were walking up here. What'd you call it?
The Riku special.
Yeah.
I broke 2 of my bats today, so I had to use Riku's bat at the end there.
Right.
And Riku is famous for getting those little slap base hits.
Oh, yeah. The little slashes with 2 strikes?
Yeah, of course. So I dedicate that one to him.
Oh, that was wonderful. Hey, anybody to dedicate something to, I guess
sure.
It's got to be him.
Sure.
So, quick question. When you were going, well, this is what the whole interview is. This is questions, so
sure.
I shouldn't even say quick question. They had a meeting at the mound before it came time for you to come up, and I was talking to Justin. I was like, are they trying to ice Jacob Stinson? I was thinking of how, like, football coaches call timeout before the kicker goes up, but I saw you and Sam were talking about something and laughing. What were you guys discussing?
Well, the situation was bases loaded, 2 outs, and bottom of the 11th, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, regardless of what happens there, Sam's not going to get up to base. Or
Yeah.
get up to hit. So I'm like, what are you doing on deck? Like, get in the dugout and cheer on. I mean, there was no shot he was going to hit. There's no possibility. So I was either going to win it or we were going to play another. So I thought that was pretty funny. But, yeah, I thought they were icing me a little bit there.
Yeah.
The coach came out, and he was just asking how many visits he had used.
Yeah.
And I thought he was just doing that, and I was like, really, guy? Like, but then he actually went out there. So, I mean, I was like, all right, it is a high-pressured situation. So, I mean, I understood it a little bit, but it was kind of annoying for sure.
So we also knew it was going to be you. You only had 1 hit today, and all you do is get multi-hit games. So that was certainly a lot of fun to watch. I'm like, he's 1 for 5? Oh, there's no 2 there? Here it comes. Here it comes. It was a great time. Oh, man. So you guys leave guys on base in the 9th. You leave guys on base in the 10th. What's the feeling in the 11th? Are you like, something's got to give, or are you just riled up and ready, locked in?
I mean, yeah, some was bound to give. I mean, their pitchers weren't that great, and we have really good hitters. We struggled a little bit with runners in scoring position, but, I mean, at the end of the day, we got the win, so that's all that matters. So it was a good team win overall, I'd say.
Yeah, it certainly was. A lot of great defensive plays. You had 3 errors, but they ended up being inconsequential. How much more, though, did that mean to get that walk-off after you missed the ball out in right field? Do you just feel like a complete 180? Or do you even remember missing that after getting the walk-off?
I mean, I of course remember, but I wasn't really hard on myself. Usually I'm really hard on myself when I make outfield mistakes, but nobody saw that baseball. That ball went up and it disappeared, and I had no idea, and there was nothing I could have done. So at the end of the day, like, I can't really be mad at myself.
And I was thinking at the same time, like, well, the ball's hit in the air. Even if Stinson catches it, it's probably going to be a sac fly anyway. So really, it was no harm, no foul. And we're like, you know what? It is tough to see when it goes above the lights sometimes. It's twilight. So, yeah.
But, I mean, I don't think it would have been a sac fly. It was pretty shallow. It ended up being pretty shallow.
Right.
But apparently it didn't look like I couldn't see it, so the runners weren't able to catch on.
Right.
And so, I mean, another runner could have scored if I, like, put palms up, like, oh, I can't see it. Like, you know what I mean? So.
You had me fooled. I was like, since it's under it, I'm like, what? And then we just saw it go behind. You ever see the one punt play? I think the Rams did. It's a lot of football references today, where they faked it coming on the one
and
side.
Another guy on the other side.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. I mean, you really can't do that in baseball, but, well, you can.
I mean, you can deke a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen a few dekes here and there. You guys don't have to do that, though. It's just one of the best defensive teams I've ever seen. All right, so you guys stay alive in the playoffs. Ben loses. Black Bears need them to lose one more time. I believe Walla Walla and Portland both have substantial leads, but you guys only need them to lose once. Are you guys starting to feel it a little bit? 2 games left, and you have tiebreakers over Ridgefield and Portland. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it'd be fun to make the playoffs. We're just going to give it all we got and see what happens. We can only control so much because we need a little help from others, but let's just control what we can control tomorrow, come out. These guys are good, so no slam dunk by any means. But
yeah, he controlled it today. The Bells have actually the best pitching staff in the West Coast League, 3.13 ERA. Actually went down today with the 3 runs in 11 innings. So you guys gave him a real show. You got 3 runs on 10 hits. And, of course, your big one, that infield single. Now, I do have another question for you, not necessarily related to this game, but So you hit your first home run since you were 12 years old in Wenatchee. You got that baseball.
That's right.
I saw you smiling the whole way around the base path and the rest of the day on the bus. Now you get the walk-off today. Which meant more?
That's a tough one. I mean, I kind of wanted like a special moment, like a walk-off there at the end, like all summer.
Right.
I mean, not in a selfish way, just like something to remember.
Well, yeah,
like,
you help your team.
Especially in a playoff run. But I mean, I can't get over that home run. I watched that video so many times after.
It's like picking which kid you like more.
I can't help myself. I mean, it felt so good, and it just looked so good on the video.
And we were talking about it in Yakima. You're like, it's like, I haven't hit a home run since I was 12.
Yeah, no.
And we're like, come on, City, your swing's too good. You're going to get one. You're like, nah. So when you did it, I know I blew up. I can't even imagine what was going through your head. That was amazing.
Yeah, I gave a little let's go run in first base, and then I was just ear to ear all the way around, and I couldn't believe it, to be honest with you. But
you didn't want to do a Brown or a Morty Pimp, like just throw the bat 100 feet in the air?
That's not me at all. I was like, oh, I got that one, but I didn't think to do any of that. That's just not who I am. So.
Nah, you're pretty just Mr. Consistent up there. You get there,
exactly.
you do your job. And your dad was here today.
Yeah, he missed it by one game, but at least he got to see that.
Oh, yeah, he got to see, So maybe that makes that one, that might be his favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he got to see it and be here live. Man, Jacob, great job again today.
Thank you.
Always a great interview with you up here I almost said on the road with the Black Bears. We're at home. This is your Black Bears postgame show brought to you by the Daily News. So, Jacob Stinson in a crazy walk-off, dribbler to third, races it over to first. He's safe. Weber's safe. Ball game over. 3-2. The Black Bears win it in 11. They stay alive in the playoff race, especially with the Bend Elks losing. The Black Bears are now tied with Bend with 24-22 records, although Ridgefield and the Pickles looked like they were about to win their games. So the Black Bears will still be a game behind them, but they only need them to lose one time, and they need Ben to lose just once more. And you'll want to catch the Black Bears tomorrow. Watch Jacob Stinson do some crazy stuff. Watch really everybody on this team.
Yeah.
Everybody's capable of doing something amazing. Yeah, that's not even just me being diplomatic. That's just how the Black Bears are. Yeah, against a very good Bells team. That's at 6:35 p.m. tomorrow Pacific time. Get your tickets at collegeblackbears.com. That's going to be a final Fiber Federal Wednesday. Wow, non-scripted. Yeah, see, we got that. That if I nailed that the first time, I would have been as excited as Stinny with his walk. Well, maybe not as excited, but that's like a broadcaster hitting a walk-off right now. Final Fiber Federal Wednesday, final one tomorrow. Also 20% off all merch here to thank you, our big-time Black Bears fans. You'll want to catch them in this playoff run against a great Bells team. I'm sorry, I'm keeping you here forever, right?
You're good.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Roxy. Hey, Ruby. See you guys.
All right, and that's it for us today. So once again, congratulations to Stinson. Congratulations to the Black Bears fans. Thank you so much for you at home. Thank you to Justin right there behind the camera, our TV producer, our radio producer, Jacob Ackerman. And my name is Zach Smolin, reminding you to have a great night. Watch the Black Bears tomorrow, and stay frosty. We'll see you later.